I'm Rezlar.
I'm Frosty.
As nobody's really engaged quite yet.
Yep. Oh, there we have a bit of. Oh, was that a triple stun for the Mystic?
And welcome back to the Value Pack. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Value Pack. I don't think we have any announcements. Psych, bitch! You thought I'd forgot? 2 weeks in a row? You're an idiot if you think I did. We gotta talk about our patrons. That's right, I didn't forget. I saw that comment saying that you bet some money that I would forget, you fucker. So, special thanks to I Carry and Justicar, I Has Issues, Lord Carrot, My PP Itches. Fucking change that name, dude. Please, God, I'm begging. And Talus Septum. Talus Septum, thank you so much to you guys and everyone else that supports us on Patreon and it makes the show possible. We appreciate your supports and thank you once again. Now, let's get into it. There's not a whole lot to talk about today, but there is one giant piece of news, and I think that's what we're going to get into first. That is the global lab changes, all the damage numbers that everybody's talking about, everybody's freaking out about. We're here to give you the hard-hitting facts. We're here to just obliterate you with facts and logic.
You sold me.
We're here to guesstimate with confidence, you mean?
Yeah, we're here to try and figure it out just like you are, basically.
We're here to guess with the confidence of 1,000 suns.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Frosty, you want to tell the people what we're talking about for those who don't know?
I wanted to mention first, now I kind of regret making you turn your fans off, because I think since we don't have a guest, it would have been kind of cool to introduce your fan as a special guest.
They'll be constantly chiming in, you know, with a little feedback.
What do you think,
with a little bit of feedback, literal feedback.
Every once in a while, like, fan, what do you think? Just this... And it's like, hey, that's about as good as the Maywa's opinion. I'm in.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Frosty's just looking for more content to fuck with me.
I know. All right. I do want to also say at the top that Nyashi is one of my favorite people ever, and I love him. And I fuck with most of my jabs and pokes are actually to make Nyashi laugh. Unfortunately they hurt him, but they're supposed to make him laugh.
I think they make me laugh.
Okay. All right.
In a weird laugh cry sort of way, you know?
Yeah. All right. Global Labs changes. So fuck, dude. I'm trying to think how to introduce this because I've been mulling this over in my head. I actually would like to hear kind of your guys' overall thoughts on what these are and why they are, and then me try to explain away why that's probably not the case, and we should all be calm. So, Nyashi, if you don't mind, or Rez, either one, what are the Global Labs notes to you guys? I guess that when you read this or looked at it, what are like your initial reactions and thoughts?
The opposite of hope.
Go on.
Dude,
I don't know. I thought we were just going with one-liners.
In one word. No, in 2 words, 3 words. Hope is lost.
Words,
yeah.
I don't know. It's a little early for me to say for sure. I mean, so far I'm not impressed. Some things look okay, other things don't. It's a little early to tell. Like, if you go by the damage ratio chart, which I know you said is in line with how Reddit feels, then it looks grim for some particular cases, but I feel like they're still not telling us a lot of the numbers, which they openly admitted, which I don't think the chart that we basically have right now is a representation of everything. Basically, I'm a little scared about the Witch Wizard and the Guardian stuff, and that's it.
Yeah. So let me give their little synopsis here. They say in their note at the top, they say Through the Black Desert Research Institute today, which is the Black Desert College that they have abroad, the PvP damage ratio between characters and the Awakening skills PvP damage has been increased. First, the PvP damage ratio between characters is a system in which damage is applied differently depending on the character being attacked, even if the skill has the same damage. The system was introduced to create a more interesting PvP situation by introducing the concept of reciprocity between characters since the Dark Knight release, and at the same time, it was also used as a device to adjust only PvP while maintaining PvE. In the lab today, the percentage of PvP damage between characters has been rebalanced. This is to achieve balance between the damage incurred and the awakening currently in question. In the update that was applied on the 14th of May in order to match the damage of the transmission technique to the awakening technique. So this is the first, they're referencing the old Global Lab change. So on that May 14th one, in order to match the damage transmission of the skill to the awakening technique, the damage ratio of the transmission technique was lower. Keep in mind, this is a Google Translate, so it's not, it's a little bit fucking weird. Ratio of transmission technique was lowered while increasing the PvP damage ratio between characters. In particular, I should have guided the PvP damage ratio between characters a little more clearly, but I apologize again for not doing so. As promised at the last Heidel Banquet, we release all PvP damage ratio data between characters. However, this damage ratio is only a measure to balance the balance between each character, and it is to be noted that this is not a standard for indicating that a particular character is strong and weak. And then they said they're also going to do some testing on the FGT for non-damage related skill changes. Rez, so for you, what are we looking at?
You mean like with the changes?
Yeah.
To me, it seems like they were trying to even out like the damage that everyone takes, like make it not be as crazy as it is right now. And maybe they're doing that so that they can more easily adjust numbers or something, is what my thought process is, because they put everything closer together, right? It went from being like some classes were like at like fucking like 88% or some crazy shit like that, and then other classes were at like fucking 130, and now I think everything is between like fucking 99 and 108 or something like that, I think. So
Except
it
for Zerker, right? Zerker and Tamer.
those are the lowest, I think. I think Zerker is the lowest. But it's still like it's not nearly as big as the discrepancy that was there before. If you look at the before changes,
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that they're trying to close the gaps on the like class damage modifiers, so that maybe they can change the skill modifiers more accurately. I don't know. I can only guess, but honestly,
Yeah.
I don't really have that big of a problem with the changes. There are some of the things that I was looking at regarding the classes that I play where I was like, well, that seems like a really weird decision. But ultimately, Archer does 26% more damage to Guardian, so I'm pretty hype about it, honestly.
All right, so here's kind of my take on it. And I have a strong opinion on this, all right? And I feel very confident that what I'm about to say is paid for by Pearl Abyss. Now,
Right, of course.
yeah, like you were saying in the beginning, I legit think this whole thing is just to even out the classes in not even necessarily compared to each other, but just the class by itself for future rebalancing. So, as you were saying, like the numbers were so volatile before. Like on some classes, there were like 30 point swings, and if these are percentage based, like 30% damage differences just between a class. So like a warrior, for example, would do, let's see, only 82% of its base damage to a ranger, but 112% of its damage to a sork, which is a fucking massive gap. Like almost, it's like 30 points, right? So I think the whole point of it, and now the difference between those two is 6 points. So the whole point of it is if they even this out across the board and get just some general level of like, here's our average, here's the baseline. They could do a little bit more and a little bit less based on class, but it needs to be subtle. Now, when they balance like a ranger skill, sorry, I'm looking at ranger when I said that. That's ranger's damage versus Sork and other rangers. But now when they balance a skill, like let's say if they wanted to buff Nature's Tremble, right? Now Nature's Tremble is not going to one-shot a ranger while being completely balanced against everybody else. Do you get what I'm saying? So another example would be like if Sork does 30% more damage to 6 classes and they buff Grim Reaper's Judgment because it's not doing enough damage against 12 of the classes, now those 6 classes are fucked. But because they rebalance this whole thing and they're going to do relatively the same amount of damage to every class within some, there's a little bit of give, of course, then it just makes it way fucking easier to balance. I don't think it has anything to do with how they feel each class is strength-wise compared to other classes. Like I keep seeing people like, why would they buff Witch and Wizard and why would they buff Guardian, right? But I don't think this was like necessarily a buff. It's just the evening of numbers so that way their next set of changes can buff and it'll actually make sense and be easier to balance across the board. I don't think they looked at this like, oh, Guardian doesn't do enough damage, so we're going to buff its damage. It's like, I don't think it has anything to do with anything in this global lab.
I would be shocked if they just dropped this and said, okay, things are balanced. Like this
Yeah.
is, there's going to be more, they're evening it out so that they can mess more with skills. I can almost guarantee that's what's going to happen. If they don't do that, then this is by far the most incompetent thing we've ever seen them do.
Dude, the other thing too is they say specifically in here. The problem is I was thinking about how they set this whole thing up. I almost feel like this note needs to come after reading all these changes instead of at the top. Because you read through it really quick, you kind of get tired of it because it's super long, and then you go through the changes like, dude, what the fuck did they do, right? My cat's meowing at me. But it says here specifically, as promised at the last Hideout Banquet, we release all the PvP damage ratio characters. However, this damage ratio is only to measure balance. Now, this wording is weird, but measure is only a measure to balance the balance between each character. And it's to be noted that this is not, N-O-T, not a standard for indicating that a particular character is strong or weak. So it literally says, like, these changes are not like, hey, Guardian's getting a damage buff because it doesn't do enough damage, or Wizard's getting a damage buff. Like, it has nothing to do with that at all. And then they said, in order to adjust the PvP damage ratio between characters, the amount of Awakening skill PvP damage has been increased, since it's a key part in the difference between Tradition and Awakening. It was considered the most important and applied first. On the one hand, what we were paying attention to is the Awakening playstyle. Unlike Tradition, Awakening is more difficult to manipulate, such as swapping 2 weapons. We recognize that simply increasing the amount of damage is not enough to provide satisfaction. We are trying to improve this part by actively communicating with adventurers through the FGT. And then FGT-related announcements will be on the Black Desert official website whenever, soon, or next day or something. So that's, I guess the FGT is that thing that they're doing with
Focus
air
group.
quotes. Yeah, the focus group pro players.
Yeah, I have some info of that. I don't know how true it is, though. I was speaking with some KR players, and supposedly it's going to be based on a tournament.
I don't think so. Wait, what do you mean?
That's what they heard, supposedly. Some sort of tournament between each, like, the respective regions to determine who basically goes and represents that class. I don't know how true that is.
I mean, maybe it'll all be used as to show case, but there's no way. There's no, all right, results are in. Tamer won the tournament, so we're gonna be nerfing Tamer.
it'd be a class specific. So like only a whole bunch of Maewas would be in one tournament, a whole bunch of Sorks, Kunos, they'd be all in their own representative tournaments.
We should have a Maewa versus Maewa only tournament round, starting with a round of 8, and then just change Guardians numbers based on what they see. I think would be awesome.
I don't think we could find enough Maewas to fill the tournament.
So the bad news, some classes are upset. Lon's upset, they have a lot of nerfs, although they also have a lot of buffs to some classes, but they have a lot of technical, their damage is like nerfed across the board, although I really don't think it's that much. and it's again just a baseline. It's going to be changed. Like individual skills will be buffed. They didn't do any buffing of individual skills here. They just buffed like a group by an amount. You know what I mean? It wasn't like granular changes. So I think individual skills will be changed now that it'll be easier to balance going forward with this baseline. But I do think everyone
Did you guys see who got the most negative changes?
Everyone is a little bit excited. The most negative changes?
Yeah, like the numerical most amount of negative changes.
No.
It was Sork.
Oh. Was it? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, just their succession though, really, because their awakening got buffed for the most part. Well, there's some classes not buffed, or some classes matchups not. But I think everyone can collectively agree that we're excited that everyone's going to do more damage to Guardian, right? Look at this whole Guardian side. It's pretty green across the board, except for other Guardians. Look at that green, 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 green. 35% more damage from Sorks. Guardian's about to get popped. I don't know. So this patch seems like a part 1 of 3 or 4 to me. Right? Like,
well, this is like the baseline. They haven't even gone into like too much of the skill adjustments. They did some, from what I've seen, but they're still got to fine tune some skills. It just seems like they touched damage for right now. They haven't touched any like mechanical aspects of skills. Some skills still have bugs. Some skills still have like protection issues or stuff like that.
Archer does less damage to Sork for some reason, and I'm pretty upset about it.
Yeah. Dude, some of these numbers beforehand, like pre-change, are insane. Right? Like, I don't know. Some of these numbers. Hold on, let me find one that stood out to me. Like, why does Tamer do basically 38% more damage to other Tamers? That's so much extra damage. That's what it was before. It's like such a fat boost. It's actually insane. Or it does 40% more damage to Kunos and ninjas beforehand. It's so crazy. Like that's the thing that makes this so nutty is like, since it only does 20% more damage to Ranger, Warrior, Valkyrie, and 14% more to Giant. If it was like, hey, Tamers are having a hard time killing Zerkers, so we're going to buff this skill 5%, and then all of a sudden that one skill just now one-shots Ninja, Kuno, and other Tamers because the ratio is so freaking high. Also, this ratio doesn't, like none of these numbers factor in, evasion, skill add-ons, skill buffs, like food, villa, and none of that stuff, right? This is all just like a baseline. So I don't think people are going to be flat out doing 20% more damage. Like these numbers are going to be like, I don't know, additive, like pre all these buffs kind of thing. Maybe it's multiplicative, but it's going to be like, I don't think you're just going to, like if you go in Global Labs on a, let's see, what is this? Zerker. I really doubt FD in Awakening is going to do, or what were the two skills? Oh, Devastation. I doubt Devastation, if it does 1,000 points of damage, is now going to do 1,380 points of damage to a Guardian. You know what I mean? Like maybe, but I doubt. I don't think it'll work that way. Yes, Ash and McLeod, Rezlar remembered the Patreons. Congratulations, Rezlar. People were really wondering if you'd forget.
Tamers killing their own with that comment about them dealing more damage to each other. There's only a few of them left.
I just want to point out, Archer does less damage to Sork now, and I'm pretty upset about it.
All right, Rezlar has put a recording next to his desk that's on repeat. Right,
I'm just going to keep talking about it because I think it's fucking retarded.
He's Ferris Buellering us, dude. He's Ferris Buellering us right now. He has now put a tape recorder right next to his microphone because it's probably too hot in his room and he couldn't bear it any longer. But he only had time to record one line. Oh, shit. Dude, that's the thing is with this, because there's such like kind of baseline changes, I feel like there's not really a whole lot to talk about. Although some of these changes I wish also applied to PvE, dude, because I know they did the Awakening PvE buffs, but man, for most classes it was not enough at all.
I got something to talk about. Give me this spreadsheet. Here we go.
All right.
Here we go. Here's something to talk about. Wait, hold on. This is the wrong spreadsheet. Hold on.
I'll relink it.
This spreadsheet. I got it. Okay. So here's something to talk about, right? Berserker now does, with the buff skills, minimum 12, maximum 33% more damage to Musa and Meiwa. I mean, how happy are we about that, right? I'm pretty excited, personally.
Not necessary at all.
You know what someone was pointing out? So if you look at the Zerker's changes on that 37%, because they showed the skill. So Devastation was increased by 37%, and what's your gun called? The Flame Cannon, Flamebuster? And Flamebuster was increased by 36%. So someone's pointing out your Q buff is about to do 32% more damage to Moose's.
No, it's not. His Q buff isn't Flamebuster. It's Ancient Power.
Ah! See? There you go. This is why I thought
Don't scare me
would
like
be
that,
crazy.
Frosty.
Look at that,
See,
dude.
this is why all you fucking armchair Zerker balancers.
No. Hold on. A Zerker told me this. A Zerker told me. I'm repeating what the Zerker said. I was like, is it really? I was like, there's no way I'd be surprised if that affected Q buff, but he was like, no, that's what we use, and I was like, well, fuck. He's a PvE Zerker, right? He's a PvE Zerker.
Your Q buff, whenever you Q buff it, your shots become instant Ancient Power. That's why it's so powerful, and it uses it. It's supposed to have a cool
damage number.
Than
Flame Cannon or Flame Buster. Is it like an actual separate?
It's a separate ability, but I don't know. Maybe it uses the damage of Flame Buster. Hold on, I gotta find it. I do not know what the picture looks like. Hold on. It might use the Flame Buster damage, which maybe is what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's all he was saying, but I don't know. If there was a Zerker left in North America, I'd ask them.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, so it does use Flame Buster's damage, and it just modifies it. It takes Flame Buster's damage and modifies it.
So this guy's saying they don't become Ancient Power. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Kinnan.
Choice says Ancient Power's explosion is way bigger. We use Ancient Power on the first shot, but it's a charged Flame Buster shot otherwise, I'm pretty sure.
Flame Buster damage and Ancient Power just released without charge. Well, there you go. Then it would be Q buff got buffed, dude.
I mean, either way, it's Q buff got buffed. But I'm assuming they're gonna end up nerfing it. Like we said, they're not done with the changes. There's no way they just leave that be.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I don't think so either. Although against Guardians, I'm not too opposed to Q buff doing 38% more damage or 37% more damage. Dude, Devastation. Dude, Choice is gonna be one-shotting people with Devastation now. Probably not. Right? Probably.
So the reason I brought up the Meiwa thing is because it's interesting how the only classes that Zerker do like massively more damage to for the most part, like across the board, is Musa, Meiwa, DK, Lawn Archer, and Guardian, which is kind of funny to me.
Right.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense because I feel like the Musa Meiwa matchup is pretty easy. Archers are pretty easy and Guardians are pretty easy. I guess I get DK and Lawn, but then why are we doing like not having those same numbers applied to Ninja and Kuno? It's weird. It's very strange. It's kind of interesting.
Well, I think again, I don't think these right. Like that's why I was saying I don't think any of these are indicative of like what they think the balance is. I think it's just a leveling the plane, like the field. So that way future balance changes are easier. Although most of these negative damages are in the succession tree. Most. Not buff skills. I mean, even actually succession did get buffed a little bit to 15%. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. The
So
Zerker
what's
changes are so
interesting-
drastic too, compared to some of the
Yeah,
others.
well, I don't know. I feel like Zerker kind of had some of the highest modifiers like before.
Yeah,
Like
that
the,
are
the modifier
tamer.
to Sork, the modifier to Sork was 144 before.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Like, that's really. Is that the highest number? That might be the highest number.
144. Let me look at the tamer. The tamer had some nutty ones too. No, 140 is tamer's
That might
highest.
be.
Yeah, it might be.
I'm just skimming through, just trying to see. I think that might be the highest number. So like that's pretty insane.
But that's
so yeah,
why I
that
think
got
it
brought
was like
down a lot.
literally impossible to do a balance change because of how much it affected one class but not the other. I don't know, but the other thing
Yeah.
that I'm kind of curious about, and I would love them to explain, is so with them evening out the damage more, how important to them is like magic DP, and is that still supposed to be a thing? And is it supposed to be like a significant thing, or is that also they feel like that's a mistake? Because that also makes balancing way more complicated. You know, like if you buff DK damage because it can't kill a Mystic and a Striker, it now does way more damage to everyone else. You know, which its damage against everyone else is already high.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just now realizing why I didn't actually look at this before, but the Guardian number.
Maybe
It's
that means
so
they'll get rid
low.
of that magic resistance.
Yeah, I think the Guardian's base damage, like I think they balanced it with like it seems like the newer classes were relatively closer, and the older classes were kind of insane or weird ass numbers.
Wait,
it looks
these
like
just look at these Guardian before numbers. This is actually kind of insane. What the fuck were they thinking?
What?
Like actually.
Okay.
83% damage from Ranger? What the fuck, dude? You go down 77% damage from Wizard and Witch? What the fuck?
No,
Are you serious?
You mean the like every class against Guardians number?
Yeah.
Right.
Every class against Guardian before number, not the after number. And look at like just how low they are.
Yeah. Guardian had.
That is insane.
You know how Striker Mystic has magic DP? Guardian just had DP that negates damage. All
Dude,
damage.
Just like everybody's damage.
Yeah. Wizard and Witch do 77% less.
Ninja deals the same before the changes. Ninja, like right now on live servers, deals the same amount of damage to Archer as it does to Guardian. Why? What? One of those classes has 2k HP, the other one has 4k and an unbreakable block. Why the fuck do they both have the same modifier?
See,
That makes no sense.
Rizzo's been an Archer for 2 weeks and he's already an Archer shield, dude.
I'm not an Archer shield. That just doesn't make any sense. One of these classes has like it dies standing up. The other one you literally can't fucking kill without a grapple. God help you if they resist it.
Because if we get caught by them, we deserve to die. That's what Sork's comment.
Bro, that is insane. Holy shit. I didn't look at the before numbers for Guardian. This is actually crazy. Holy shit, dude. I mean, look, even like
maybe it's block gauge. Dude, maybe its block is the same as Valk and Warrior, but everyone's damage is reduced so much against them that it feels way stronger. Honestly.
Look at classes damage to Warrior compared to Guardian. Sork damage on Warrior 130. Sork damage on Guardian 98.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Almost 30. It's 32 points less essentially. What the fuck?
If they released this like the way they did with you remember when they did the original CC changes, how they only give us one of the 3 parts at a time? If they did this with these changes, dude, there's gonna be like a week where Guardians just dive in and die immediately.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Dude, this is insane. Holy shit, dude.
That means all them fucking monkeys will re-roll.
My fucking mind is blown right now.
Hey, Giants do alright damage against them. Not compared to the
Yeah.
other classes that it does, but it's still higher than other. Not compared to its damage to other classes, but higher than other classes' damage to Guardian. Oh
Like,
no.
what the fuck? What Archer damage to Warrior right now on live service 111. Archer damage to Guardian 83.
Yeah.
What? How does that make sense, dude?
I mean, you know what, though? You could counter-argue that's probably how Valkyrie and Warriors should be, to feel tanky as like a frontline.
I mean, I agree. That's how Warrior and Valk should feel. But the point is that Warriors put at 111, while Guardians put at 83.
Yeah,
Warriors put it 130. Guardians put it 98.
they're a glass tank, dude. Have you not heard of this?
Glass
Zerker is
tank. What does that
Zerker
even
does-
mean?
Zerker does 134 to Warrior and only 107 to Guardian. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Fucking Kuno. Berserker does less damage to Kuno and Ninja than it does to fucking Warrior.
Yeah, where you're hard countered it. Or not you're a traitor. But other Zerkers.
Bro, these before, now that I'm actually looking at these before numbers are so fucked.
They needed to be
What the fuck
changed,
were they
right?
thinking?
That's what I'm saying, dude. These
What
numbers
were they
needed to be
thinking?
changed. They didn't make a lot of sense.
They
At
made
least not to me.
0 sense. This is insane. I do love that even after the changes, DK's damage is like really low to like a bunch of other classes. This makes me happy.
Well,
But that's the thing, is like their damage isn't low. This is one of the reasons why
their
I'm trying to point
modifiers,
out.
I think, are still decently high, right?
Yeah, because even though their numbers are super low on all this, like their succession does an insane amount of damage, and because they got no changes, they didn't get any like minus damage percentage. Like overall, their succession damage just does a little bit more across the board to everyone except for Valk.
That's totally what I want to hear when I get one shot through my block right now.
Yeah, so these numbers are exactly why I feel like this is only like, it's just a small piece of the puzzle. There's so much more that needs to get changed. Also, like, I was thinking about
for
this.
sure.
I haven't played that many MMOs. I played a really, 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 really short time of WoW. I played a significant amount of time in Ion, a lot of time in Terra and Blade and Soul, and I just feel like there is not a damage system more that should be simple that's more complex than the way BDO has it set up.
Yeah, probably.
Like, it seems so complicated. Like, the amount of layers seem insane compared to some other games. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm willing to bet if they just remove some of those layers, everyone's frame rate would go up. There's so many steps it has to calculate before it gets to the end result.
I just want to point out that Shy does 62.5% damage to Archer. Like,
That's
way higher
pretty
than every
fucking
other class.
amazing. They are the anti-archer.
Dude, what the fuck?
And if they happen to get a fucking archer in their bubble, can they? I don't think they can get out, can they?
62.5. I wonder if what's the closest number to 62.5 post changes so that we can mock that class about their damage. Probably gonna be, I think the lowest I've seen, although I haven't been looking for it, is DK damage to DK. I think. Here's 82, which does 82.8 to Mystic and Striker. So does Wizard. Okay, here we go. 77.93. DK does 77.93 to Striker and Mystic. I think that's gonna be the lowest. I don't imagine anything lower than that. That's really low.
I I think my cat's trying to piss me off. So before he was meowing, and now he's attacking my Del Taco coupons.
Yikes.
Those
So
are important.
Okay. So fun fact, DK, you can use this for complaining ammo. Okay, you can use this as ammo. So DK only does 15% more damage to Striker and Mystic than Shy does to Archer.
There you go. What was DK's lowest modifier?
It was 70. It was DK to Striker and Mystic. It's 77.93 post changes.
Post changes, okay. Ranger, well, pre changes, Ranger has a lot of pretty low ones. Against other Rangers, 82. Against Valkyrie, Musa Mewa, 83. Oh, and Ninja Kuno. And then after those all got buffed like fairly significantly. Closer to 99. So that was the other thing I noticed. Like every one of these that got changed is within like a 10-point swing of each other now. Like not necessarily class to class, but like
not all of them.
Well, no. Like all the after changes. So like, for example, like Zerker. If
you're talking about like within the class.
Within the class, all the after ones, are within 10 points of each other.
Yeah.
Whereas before there was like 30-point swings.
Yeah,
which I think is
and
just too much.
most of them seem to hover around high 90s to mid to high 100s. Like most of them, not all of them.
Mid to high 10s, you mean, of like the 110s.
Yeah.
You know, some of these 190. Yeah. Only some of them are. I feel like Tamers are the highest, right? Or am I crazy?
Tamers' highest post?
Yeah, they have a lot that sit at like 116 still.
116.89. Yeah, I don't think anything's higher than that.
Yeah. But anyway, that was one thing I noticed, like they're all within like 10 points of each other now. And all the classes themselves are within like 20. So it's not as crazy. Dude, like some of the like if you look at like some were doing 140 and some were doing 77 is insane.
I beat you, Frosty.
On what?
118. 118.51.
Who is it?
Zerker damage to Sork, Ranger, Musa, Mewa, Ninja, Kuno, Witch Wizard, DK, Lon, Archer. 118.51. Which is weird because it almost, from some of these, it looks like they were almost trying to classify the classes as like, okay, we'll give all of the iframe spammy classes like the same number, and then like the kind of like frontline block classes the same number, and then the frontline non-block classes the same number. But I don't know. They seem to just break from that on certain classes. It's kind of strange.
What is the name of the person that made this spreadsheet? Does anyone know? Because this spreadsheet was so well done. I greatly appreciate this. I love how it's organized, and the colors also make it super easy to recognize the changes. I just greatly appreciate it. Whoever did this spreadsheet, you are a hero. And the thing I love most about this spreadsheet, it looks like Mewa got way too many buffs. If you just look at it.
Yeah, that's a lot of green.
It's a lot of green on Mewa, dude. A lot of green.
The only hard red I see is on Striker, dude.
Yeah, Striker.
What are you talking about?
Succession versus Striker. Talking about the spreadsheet.
DK got some hard red. Shy got some hard red.
We're talking about green, Nashi. Green.
Oh, you said hard red just a second ago.
He's saying the only hard red is the one.
Hard red.
No, he's saying the only hard red thing is the one thing. You get a lot of green in here.
Yeah, because Frosty said that Mewa gets a lot of green, which is busted and is obvious that they need to be nerfed. And I said, yeah, there's one hard red.
What the fuck? The hate on Mewa. Oh my goodness Christ.
All right, someone's saying, why didn't Musa get the same buffs as Mewa or get any love? I mean,
what are you talking about? They had the exact same numbers across the board.
Yeah, they did. Post. As
a matter of fact, they got an actual nerf in damage because their numbers were a little bit higher.
Post changes, their numbers are exactly the same across the board. It's the before changes, Musa's damage modifiers almost across the board were like slightly higher.
Yeah,
basically.
At face value, like here, basically Musa's succession got nerfed. And the awakening mostly stayed the same, because even the negatives are only a couple percentage points.
I mean, all this proves to me is that PA is in fact sexist, and they favored Musa over Meiwa.
Yeah, I mean, well, this definitely, I mean, obviously we don't have the whole puzzle, right? We only have a piece of it, but this definitely shows that as far as class against class modifiers go, it seems like Musa was doing more than Meiwa.
Yeah.
Well, that's also, it's a difference in how the damage was being dealt versus DR and evasion. So Meiwa would do more versus evasion versus Musa doing more DR.
So, like,
Just
if you
of how
look,
the damage was.
like, you can look at, like, almost any class. It's almost for every single class, I think, that Musa was just doing more. So, on Warrior, before the changes, what's happening right now on live server is Musa is 103.09 on Warrior, whereas Meiwa is 98.22, almost 5 points less on the same class. On Sork, it's almost 5 points less. On Ranger, it's a little over 1 point less. On Zerker, it's almost 2 points less. So Musa just kind of did more damage than Meiwa across the board as far as class against class modifiers go. Again, this isn't taking into account all the other shit. This is only one piece of the puzzle. But
Right.
for
Do you have
this,
the link to the old one?
It's all in the Global Labs. All the old modifiers are in Global Labs. They put the before and after on the Global Lab notes.
yeah. So
That's what
just
we're looking
something to
at.
keep in mind. This is, you have nothing to complain about. You do more damage than Meiwa across the board. Anyway, moving on.
Well, here's the thing too, because someone asked like, but why did they nerf Musa? And that's what I'm like trying to explain. Like, these weren't meant to nerf a specific class. These changes are literally just to put a new baseline in to start balancing going forward. That's it. This wasn't like,
Yeah.
I don't think any of this had anything to do with like, I really don't think anyone was like, hey, Musa kind of does too much damage, so we're going to change their ratio numbers to this. It's just to even it out and make it easier to balance going forward. And yeah, I think because they're similar to Meiwa, they basically made them identical, right? It's like completely identical.
Yeah, they made them. They
Yeah.
made them completely identical. People should not be looking at these as like the final changes. Like, this is PA's last attempt to balance the game. Like, again, this is only a piece of the puzzle. I would be absolutely fucking shocked if they stopped here. That would be mind-boggling to say the least.
I think
Are
the
you sure?
There's just no way.
the Musa Meiwa comparisons are like, I feel like they're like proof, or like they basically paint the picture for you, right? Because Musa and Meiwa's damage is pretty different, right? And they went through and made them like these ratios the exact same, almost the exact same. There's like mild differences, like against their own class, basically, and that's it. And every other class is the same, but their modifiers and their skill set is completely different. So that this just shows that this is just a baseline for future balancing.
So, what I find interesting, and I want to know your opinion on why this is,
All right,
Frosty,
Kuno got buffed
is
across the board.
no, why they matched Musa and Meiwa exactly, but then put
Get 'em!
Kuno slightly lower than Ninja on
Sorry.
all their modifiers.
Oh, well, I actually explained that earlier. PA is sexist.
Why? Explain to me why they completely synced up Witch and Wizard. They completely synced up Musa and Meiwa, and yet when it came to Ninja Kuno, the other sister class in the game, they kept it separate.
Well, it
put
does show
Kuno-
that Kuno got a larger increase overall, but yeah, it's a little different.
They put them. I think for most of these, it's like 3 points less than Ninja.
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
interesting.
not too sure.
Even on, it's funny. It's funny because both Ninja and Kuno do the
Same
same
with
damage.
Falcon Warrior too.
They do the same damage to Ninja, but then on Kuno, Ninja does 3 point more damage to Kuno than Kuno does to Kuno. What the fuck is with that?
Yeah, Falcon
so
Warrior have a
weird.
damage difference too, but
Those aren't sister classes, though.
yeah, not
No, because their
technically.
pre-awakened tree is not even the same.
Yeah,
Although
they're not
Kuno Ninja
technically the
isn't
same.
either, right? Like, I think the pre-awakened tree is different enough.
No,
You think that's why?
Well, I don't know. How
I guess.
different? How different is the
Well, hold on.
Musamewa pre-awakened tree?
They're
Like
pretty much
2
the
or 3
same, except for
skills?
2 or
like
3 skills?
2 or 3 skills.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I would say I'm trying to think of how many are different. Like we don't have behead. They don't. Or yeah, they don't have tendon. We don't have any of the like malice or shuriken flight that they have. So I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with that. I'm not too sure.
So almost across the board, Mystic is 1 point lower than Striker post changes. So with Musa and Maywall, they synced it up completely. With Witch and Wizard, they synced it up completely. But with Striker and Mystic, Mystic almost across the board is 1 point lower. With the Ninja Kuno, almost across the board, Kuno is 3 points lower.
I think this is proof of sexism right here. This is.
Well, I did want to point out
Racism.
something.
I was about ready to say racism. Yeah.
They're racist against
This is a
Asians.
systemic racism right here. This is sexism right here.
If we were going, if the premise was, if we were to align ourselves with Reddit thinking and be like, oh, this is what PA thought of the balance, and these are their balance changes, and they're done, then I would say it would be a good recommendation to reroll to Mystic, because most classes on average do either the same, less, or only a little bit more to Mystic, and Mystic does a lot more to everybody else in Awakening. I think Mystic's going to be beefy after these changes.
I would argue that Warrior is probably still one of the best bets because their damage is really, really strong right now. And they didn't really touch
But
shit.
they don't have a vacuum.
So?
Vacuum is the one button
So-
win. Right?
I think the highest percentage increase. I mean, keep in mind this doesn't mean much, but I think the highest percentage increase
Is Q buff?
is Zerker to Lon, increased by 35.14% damage on the
Zerker to-
37% buff skills.
Zerker to Archer.
Zerker to Archer. Oh, you're right. Damn, I'd fucking looked right past it. My Archer brain wasn't like calculating that properly. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
When they were sitting there at their desks, they're like, what can we do to help Zerkers out? Like, what is their weakness? Like, well, I don't know what their weakness is, but you know what might help large scale? If every time Zerker takes a shot with Q buff, at least one Archer dies.
Well, the 37% buff
What?
skills only is devastation, right?
Devastated. But 36% is Q buff. Look how close it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude. Yeah, that is interesting, dude. I'm. Yeah, it'll at least make them have to look at Q buff.
I mean,
I honestly hope to God that they remove Q buff and then actually
I
balance
know.
the class
I do too.
properly.
I'm with you on that. I think that would be cool. Like, remove Q buff and make them feel stronger elsewhere.
yeah, I agree. Remove Q buff and just leave them as is.
Same with Tamer, dude. Like, nerf the ult. Like, one-shot ults are lame for everybody. Nerf the ult a lot and make Tamer really cool in other ways.
Yeah, another way that Guardian needs to be nerfed, by the way. I get PTSD every time I see an fucking Guardian just charging towards my team in RBF. I'm like, that's an ulti. That's an ulti. That's an ulti.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a nerf to Zerker's movement. Choice outran me in history like a month or so ago, and that's just not acceptable.
I don't know. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I feel like it's probably not. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I just wish that they would nerf Q buff and then put the effort in to make the class good outside of being a fucking 3-minute class.
Yeah, let me find this clip real quick.
And it needs to start with making our goddamn iframe and giant leap work. I don't know why this is still an issue. We've had the Awakening for years now. Why is it taking so long to fix a goddamn iframe? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Because it's not on their top priority list. They gotta get that fucking what's it called? The SpaceX of outfits going. They gotta get that.
The Space Force.
Yeah, they gotta get the damn outfit
I'm
force.
going to link this to you guys so you guys could watch it along with me. I want everyone to watch this. This is just we're just taking a brief time out from the balance discussion to check out this V strategy succession guardian all in Siege yesterday. So this is Alex X.
Okay.
Alex, basically.
Why do I have
Everyone
a
knows him.
feeling that he's gonna press space and everybody's gonna die?
I know.
He used to be in Republic and way back in the days. Republic
Now
boy.
he's in
yeah.
Bessie Corps.
He used to be a Valk. So we'll
Now,
just watch this all.
If I can guess what's gonna happen, I would say that he's gonna press space. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, that's what I expected.
For the radio listeners at home that aren't seeing the video, he uses forward F. He V's into Valencia. Uses he V's into Valencia Castle. He uses forward F to frontal guard charge forward, and then immediately presses spacebar, which is the Succession Guardian alt, and it kills 10 people instantly. It's just 1/2.
Yeah,
It's actually ridiculous. I love how long the clip goes for his stun. He gets stunned by the damn trap. It's just like, wow, that's a really long time to be stunned. And then he just goes and kills everybody.
No one hits him during that. He got so lucky, dude. Anytime I V in and a fucking trap stuns me, like I feel like the whole guild hops on me. Oh,
well, he did only kill corrupt players, so that kind of makes sense, you know.
God damn, dude. I knew we'd get something controversial going on in here.
And people,
if that was any other guild, it probably wouldn't have happened. I'm just fucking around.
People complain about Zerker, by the way. Like, okay.
Yeah,
this one is very. Not a lot of people know about this one because very few people play Suck Guardian. In fairness, and it's a new class. Most Guardians are like, why would I switch to that for the ult when my Shift F and Shift Q do that every time I use them every 8 seconds?
Right.
Well, no, they don't do that, but they do.
So what you're saying is people
kidding.
don't like being a 3-minute class. I know the feeling.
Plot twist. He has 250 AP. If that's true, that's just
Sammy and Tina and Chaz, like those two Zerkers were trolling. How could they not see him? They turned around and were looking right at him. I know, I don't understand. They looked like they were playing fucking grab ass with each other. I don't know what was happening, dude.
Well, that might be explainable. It's hard to say because from his perspective, it looks like he's visible. But he came out of V and was stunned by the trap. He could have had the V bug where he was invisible to them.
The Zerker only had 10 seconds to react, all right? Give him a break.
They were fighting someone else, and they just...
Yeah, they were fighting what looked like a broken-ass Kuno or something. I couldn't even see them. They were invisible, basically.
Probably. That's ridiculous.
I mean, also, they're corrupt Zerkers, right? So you gotta kind of like,
That's what I'm saying. If it was any other guild, just... It's so ridiculous, that kind of damage.
I also love and respect that Alex in that clip is on remastered. I think that's hype as fuck. In a siege.
Yeah, you instantly get blinded when he enters the light. Great.
You got to be some kind of daredevil to do siege and remastered. All right.
Yeah. Well, when you one-shot everyone in front of you, I guess it's okay.
I would be willing to bet that his room sounds like Reslar's with the fans going when he's playing siege and remastered, dude. And now a message from our sponsor. And Reslar, you just play your fan real quick. All right. Should we move on?
Seems so.
Rez, you still here? He didn't say BRB, but it sounds like.
Can we talk about the UI?
I'm here.
Can we talk about it?
Wait. Can I bring up one more thing about
absolutely.
this sheet before we move on?
Mm-hmm.
So Archer does less damage to Sork, and honestly, I'm pretty upset about it.
Why? Oh, wait. He put his tape on. He's probably in the bathroom right now. I think Rosler's in the bathroom. He put his tape recorder on.
Can you give me that?
That's all I wanted to say.
Can you give me that link again? Why isn't the link in
Can you word that differently, Resler, so it doesn't feel like a recording? But I still want to hear the thought again. Have you tried Luthorgan's Call?
Yeah, I have. It's really OP. We should do a whole Sorks for some reason.
We should do a whole segment on how to pronounce that. I've heard it pronounced Luthorgan, Luthergan, Luthagran, and Luthiagragran. The last one's definitely wrong, but I've heard it.
I mean, we could just give it a nickname like leg drop. We can call it like ground pound or something.
Call it ground pound. Shut the fuck up. We could call it. What could we call it? Let's give it a name. I like that. Yeah, something like leg drop. What's maybe leg pop? So it rhymes with leg drop for no reason in particular.
How about Ancient Wave, but better in literally every way? I like that
It's a
nickname.
long range ancient wave on a low cooldown.
Yeah, it's long range, instant cast at basically any point, Ancient Wave with a 6-second cooldown. I think that's what the nickname should be.
Well, it's a knockback though. What's the difference, right? Ancient
Oh
wave's a
no!
busted ass knockdown.
If I could trade the fucking CC for fucking render range range on the goddamn Ancient Wave, dude. Holy shit.
All right, we're moving on. So in conclusion, either Pearl Abyss has no idea what they're doing, or this is only part 1 of 4. There's a 50-50 chance. It could go either way.
Yeah. We're hoping it's the later.
He meant ladder. All right, so moving down. Crow's Nest. Do we talk?
There's no ladder.
Can we talk about Crow's Nest? I don't
Wait, no,
understand it.
wait.
No, I don't want you. You still need time to cool off, Nashi, before we get to the UI.
Oh, come on! I gotta
It's
get it
next.
out
The
of my
Crow's
system.
Nest is quick. All right, they're adding.
All right, fine.
Where if you barter, you can bring another barter into an arena and duke it out with only your fists.
What?
I don't know. Is there anyone that tested what this is on Global
Any
Labs?
barters in the chat?
No, it apparently has nothing to do with bartering. It's only at the island where bartering is, but it's just like a PvE wave defense thing. But I don't know if you use special skills or your class.
Wait,
or
another
what.
one?
I guess so.
We
That's
already
how
have
it's
2 of them, and both of them are dead content. Why do we need another one?
All right. First of all, I do Savage Rift at least once a day, every day. I never skip a day. Skipping Savage Rift day is like skipping leg day. You know, you're just imbalanced. You feel imbalanced.
Sorry, am I supposed to dignify that with a response?
No, it doesn't matter. I have you muted, so it doesn't matter. I'll insert your response there. Don't worry. I go through and edit and add in clips of you talking. I cut them all together and put it in, so it sounds like we're having a nice conversation. I don't know what this is, but it apparently is a wave defense type thing with Immortal Crow insignias, which we all know what those are, and they can be obtained through completing the Age of the Ocean Crow's Nest quest, which I think, Rezo, you did that one already, right?
Did what? What did I do?
The Age of the Ocean Crow's Nest quest?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's coming.
Totally.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't think anyone knows. And no one has looked because the global lab changes. No one is taking the time to swim out there. But there's something new out there that we should all be hyped about.
I mean,
that's the other thing on the list that I gotta add.
wave defense.
The Shultz redesign, I forgot. But all right, let's talk about the new window.
Okay, Nashi, go ahead.
Nashi, you go ahead. You do your little rant.
You had a bit of a meltdown earlier.
You go hard on them, and then I'll white knight it until the cows come home.
Okay, all right. Let me get to the skill instructor one second. Here we go. All right, so the skill UI was drastically changed. Instead of having a window where you can still see the background of the game and make sure that you're not getting killed by anybody, you can actually now enter this new full screen window, and it's drastically different. They basically tried to reduce the amount of space that skills would take up in the skill UI and condense it down to these little dots that you can actually scroll through to see the different levels for the particular skill. Succession doesn't have its own tab like Awakening does. Succession is actually built underneath the absolutes. So that's weird.
I wanted to ask. So is the square at the end of each of these, like the dots, the last dot with the square, is that the absolute version, or what is the dot? The square with the dot.
The dot just represents the level of which
right. The dot represents the level, but how do we know what's absolute and what's not absolute on this tree?
They literally say absolute. The absolute's separate.
Oh, okay. It's the one over on the far right. Those are the absolutes.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
And the dot with the square around it is actually the one that you're actually on, so you can navigate through the list so that you can see the different stats. for that
Got you.
particular
And then,
skill level.
and where is succession in this? It's just right
Succession
below?
is it's all the Korean text, but it's below the absolute version is the succession skills.
Ah, okay. I think I
You'll
see
also
now. I
notice
see
that
what you
they have
mean.
these little weird icons here that are also in Korean, but I believe they're meant to represent what the skills kind of do as far as either movement or CC. For example, Divider has this weird like little arrows and the guy like leaning backwards like he's being knocked back. So that would represent
Right.
that kind of CC. This one has like a little bit of electric symbols next to this guy's neck to show he's got a whiplash from backstep slash. So he's stiffened.
The stiffen.
Um,
Yeah, the new CC
yeah,
icons are actually kind of cool. I like these.
yeah, and also this little weird blue whooshing looking thing. I guess that's to represent its movement speed slow. So there's some interesting little things that they try to do to represent the skill. Um, and that was down smash. Oh, I guess that probably makes sense. But that
All right.
looks so weird for a down
So
smash. But yeah,
just that part of the UI, before we get to the other part, just this part of the UI, the interface, like how it looks, you think it's better or worse than what we currently have? Just
so
the
I
part of
like
like
the
choosing.
idea.
Okay.
I like the idea, and I think that part is good. So I'll leave it there with that, so that we can move on to the next part.
All right. Next part.
So now the next part. I don't like I mentioned. I don't like how they had the succession as basically built underneath the absolutes. I think it's stupid. They should give it its own tab, just like they did with Awakening, so it's a lot cleaner. They kind of break these skills up by categories, I guess. For example, all the passives and Black Spirit related abilities, I guess, are separated into a different tab, and then you have like what are quote unquote non-combat skills. I want to say, but yet they are at the same time. For example, forward roll is in this non-combat like tree with Maewa's will, as well as retaliation, which is technically a combat skill, but chase is here. Then the kicks are here. And then the next tree is like all the combat related skills. I feel is the accurate way to describe it. So it's a little weird. And then you have these different tabs to represent which kit you're under. For example, Succession or Awakening. There's a lot of bugs with this stuff. The Succession tab is not going back in for whatever reason. The Awakening tab goes back in. Then you got all these. The skill tooltips are still being represented here, but it's kind of pointless if you have the skill tooltip being represented as this big screen. So all this ends up doing is just cluttering the screen and blocking your view. So I don't really care for the tooltips still popping up when you hover over the skill, especially if you just have it right here.
So what about the
I
swapping?
kind of get why, but
here's my question on the swapping. How is the swapping? What can you save and what can't you save in your testing? Because according to this, you should be able to save everything, but I can't tell if it saves skill add-ons as well when you instant swap.
All right, so there is a new feature where you have potentially 5 presets. They give you 2 in Global Labs. I believe 2 or 3 will be given to every player at the start. You can save your skill selection, your add-ons, and your UI, apparently, as well as your rebams. So that all gets saved in the preset. So this will really help with swapping between Awakening and Succession.
You said add-ons
But
too?
it does do add-ons too, but
Oh,
it's a little
thank God.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome though.
I'm kind of
So-
surprised. I'm kind of surprised they remembered that rebombs exist.
I know, right?
yeah. So it does remember all those things as far as I can tell so far. So for example, if I switch to Awakening, the only way to switch is to go to the skill instructor currently. Hopefully they change that to where the old Moon book will allow you to do that at will. But you go to the skill instructor, you go to skill, the skills, then you select the particular save that you have, hit yes. You'll see that all my succession skills will be removed. And I now will have all the Awakening skills, unlike before. If I go to my skill add-ons, you'll see that my skill add-ons were switched. And then
Where does it show the skill add-ons now? You still have to
my
hover over.
UI I don't think is saving properly. I think there's a bug with it, but it is changing it. So I had cooldowns selected before, but they're not there anymore.
Does it still save? Or sorry, where does it show the skill add-on now? Like, do you still have to hover over each skill to see them?
You can go to the skill add-on on the skill instructor to see it. But yeah, you would have to hover over the skill. Let me check to confirm that is.
Got it. Yeah,
yes,
Monster.
they do. If you hover over the skill, they do show.
Yeah, Monster. It's supposed to change your UI. So in practice right now, he's saying it's a little bit buggy. But what you're supposed to be able to do is there's these locks on the side here. See these things on the global labs? It shows them as like little locks. But those are like your presets. You get 2 of them for free. One for completing Succession quest, one for completing Awakening quest, and it looks like there will be pay-to-win slots for additional. But I don't know what the point of those would be, since I don't know why you'd need other presets unless you're like super limited on skills.
They plan on adding 3 new kits to every class now.
Yeah, 3 new kits. But when you go to the skill instructor and you swap, it's supposed to swap over all of your skills. So if you go from Succession to Awakening, it'll switch over your Succession skills to Awakening. It's supposed to switch your entire hot bar at the bottom. It's supposed to switch your entire cooldown bar, and it's supposed to switch your add-ons. It's supposed to do literally everything.
Oh.
But
the other slots are going to be changing your add-ons for like PvE stuff, I bet.
Oh yeah,
that's what Chad's saying. They're saying PvE for PvP to PvM. So for example, you have 2 slots for Awakening, one for your PvP setup, one for your PvE setup, and then 2 slots for Succession. This is a convenience factor, basically. You're paying for convenience. You're getting 2 to help you out between swapping. So if you want to stick to Succession or Awakening specifically only, you have the 2 slots to help you do that between PvP and PvE. But if you wanted to have options for everything, then you would need to purchase more slots for the convenience factor.
See, now the problem is, like Niash was saying, so you have to do it at a skill instructor, at least currently in Global Labs, which is like, I kind of dislike that, especially because, like you were saying, with the quick slot to, let's say if I want to stay Succession, but I just want to switch my PvP add-ons to PvE, it's not even really more convenient to have this tab if I'm going to the skill instructor anyway, because skill add-ons take like 1 second to switch if you're already at the instructor. Yeah, the instructor.
Yep.
Like, I wish there was. I think the idea is they don't want you to be swapping back and forth like in every situation you're in. So in that case, like, I feel like if you have an old moonbook or whatever the fuck it is, like, you should still be able to switch out in the field. Just put a cooldown on it. Like, maybe you can only switch once every 15 minutes or something like that.
Nah, fuck that. Let's switch mid-combat. I want to fucking switch mid-combat. You know how dynamic the PvP could be?
It would be so tedious, though. If you have to open a full screen skill thing mid-fight, that would be awful.
All right, the full screen. I agree. The full screen. Screen aspect is pretty lame. I think they should. They should take this left side, which shows the skill details, and remove that and let it show the actual game. And if you happen to select the skill, it'll bring up the window instead. That way you can still see.
Humanity's idea is you should be able to switch. If you have an old moonbook, you should be able to switch your skill preset with your tent.
Yeah, that would be fine, because you have to pull up a tent when you're like basically safe. You can't just do it,
and you can't do it in Node War or Siege. You'd have to do it before. So if you know
Correct,
what you want
and
to
that would be fair for Node War and Siege.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a good idea.
That would be a fine solution to that. Yes.
You should be able to do it wherever you want, as much as you want, and then they just assign it to a hotkey, like, I don't know, like C or something, so that you can swap from using one weapon to another weapon.
More C
Wouldn't that be sick as fuck, dude?
No more C keys.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of like having to go at all to my UI to swap like mid. Like, I landed a stiffness, then I open the skill UI, swap to a different skill set.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Just bind it to something that isn't used a lot, like your C key, and that way you can swap weapons like in the middle of a combo.
They ain't doing that.
Wouldn't that be sick as fuck if you could swap like weapons and then use a different set of tools?
They wouldn't do that shit. It would be too buggy. No. Could you imagine? The servers can't handle shit as it is with normal PvP. But like, so all right. I like the tent idea. I think that's fine, because think about it like this. I think the tent's actually a very viable not workaround, but a solution to this little skill instructor issue. Because you know how many times you go to a Node War or Siege, you swap to your PvP spec for your add-ons, and then you go to grind immediately after, and you're like at underwater zone. You're like,
and you're like,
fuck,
God damn
I didn't
it.
switch my damn add-ons, so
And
now
you
you're going to be
need them.
grinding like a scuffed,
Yeah. You need them in
Kuno
underwater
player
too,
like
so
Frosty,
bad.
and then you'll be, just
Okay,
upset the
here
whole
it
time.
is. Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm
The
telling
tent,
you guys.
the tent already has the limitations in place that I think are ideal for what this is.
If
Yeah,
you think they're gonna miss out on another chance to make more money, you're out of your mind. When this shit comes to live, there's gonna be a new moon book. You can buy it for $12.50 a month, and it lets you change as much as you want wherever you are. I can already tell you.
Tents will get a price increase
there's no-
because of their usefulness.
I mean, there's literally no way they'll do that. Now they might add it to the moon book, but there's no way they'll make another moon book and there will just be 2 moon books to do basically the same thing.
Yeah, they'll just
No, they'll add some.
they'll just retro update the.
They'll
the
add
old-
some other stuff, just like the old moon book has a couple other things added onto it. They'll be like, and I don't know, your horse speed is 1% faster, or something like mildly useful like that.
It already gives life XP, life skill XP.
Or your
and
boat,
skill.
your boat durability lasts for 1% longer. Just some
Oh my
mildly
gosh.
Well-
useful buff for a percentage of the population.
I'm gonna give credit to this suggestion I'm about to give to Laserface, but do you know how
Sure,
much
you wanna
money?
do that?
Do you know how much extra money Pearl Abyss would make if they had a $50? I'm not even kidding. $50 tent add-on, just called tent stilts that let you put your tent on a hill or an incline. How many people
Oh
would
my God.
fucking buy a tent, like pay
Oh my
50
God.
extra bucks to be able to
It
put
just
your goddamn
ignores terrain
tent
issues.
on a
Yeah.
fucking hill, dude?
Oh my god, they could make so much fucking money.
Dude, the amount of times, especially if you ever have gathered, the amount of times you're running around trying to find a place for your tent, but it's like you can't place on an inclined area is so fucking awful, dude.
Yeah.
By the way,
it is.
Frosty.
Yeah.
Frosty, so when you were looking at costumes the other day for like male classes, was
Mhm.
that your first time seeing the Musa Awakening costume? The one with the firearm?
That was my first time noticing the firearm. Not my first time seeing it. Like seeing the costume
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
Dude, that's what I was talking about when I was talking about like they could sell effects. Like things like that you could put on any costume you want. That's what I was referring to. Is like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tell me that wouldn't be sick as fuck if you could buy something like that.
A
as,
little
like,
ice
separate
arm, dude.
thing.
A little ice arm on my Kuno.
Yeah, why the fuck not, dude? That'd be sick as fuck. And they'd make so much money, dude. People would buy that shit in a heartbeat. It's literally free money. Just sell it as like a separate slot.
But you can only equip it if you have the new second Old Moon book.
Yeah, if you have the new moon book, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a few more things we forgot to mention about the UI though.
All right, let's hear it.
That 10-second cooldown between swap and kits.
Mhm.
So you can't just like quickly swap kits
That's
back to back to back.
That one I feel like is to prevent the server from getting DDoSed.
And I think that's fine. But that's some that players might struggle with at first if they're not aware of that. They might think it's fucked.
Dude. Spaghetti.
Yeah, spaghetti could. But so that's just something to keep note of. And it seems like when I switch to Succession, one of my skills no longer exists in the add-on screen, so that's a bug. Red Moon just doesn't exist for some reason now. I originally saved it with Red Moon as an add-on, but it just doesn't exist now.
As it should be.
Probably a
As it should be.
teaser. Probably a teaser for a future balance change. Sounds
For
like to me.
future balance nerf coming to Meiwa's way.
I do like in their sample images on the Global Labs that they use a Ranger because they know the Ranger can't 1v1 with the Succession kit, so they likely will be using this. The technology window K has been refurbished. So yeah, unpopular opinion. I don't like that it's full screen, so I'm with you on that. But I do like the UI of the skill screen, the right half, all of the shit that you actually see. I actually really like how it's designed. I like the dots. I like the little
Yeah.
square over where you're at. I like how the new skills are laid out, and I like the quick slot buttons. I like that part. I don't like that the demo video is now a major motion picture at full resolution.
Yeah, just to display their little skill animations. Like, really?
Well, it also has like all the stats over there. It looks like to the left. So when you
Yeah,
click,
they do,
everything
they
hovers
do.
to the left. The problem is
But they kept the tooltip when you hover over it. So what's the fucking point?
yeah.
Like,
So it
why
has both.
bother?
Also,
Yeah, so why
please,
fucking bother?
I noticed in these screenshots it doesn't have PvP damage, then some letters, and then a percentage. They need to add that. Why is that not in the game yet?
Yeah, I thought they said they were gonna reveal that.
Come on, man, reveal stuff.
I mean, overall, I think it's good that they do update it. I just kind of, hope that they fix the bugs and a lot of the other things that don't make sense in it.
Yeah, it's 75% of the way there, I would say.
We'll go with that.
I think if you're a new player and you're not used to the old skill window, that this new skill window will look nice. It'll be
Yeah.
jarring for people that are used to the old way, obviously. It's like everything in this game, every time they change something,
It's like
people
putting
are...
a hat on a hat.
Yeah, one of the things with that I will just disagree with everyone on until the end of fucking time is the normal menu, the escape menu. How people like the old one, which is just a smattering of Windows 95 icons. No, that is not a good UI. You are wrong.
I still use it right now, baby.
You can still use it because you're used to it and whatever, but it is not only is it not good looking, it's also objectively worse because it doesn't have the search or the quick slot keys that you can hotkey. It's just worse.
It's
and
old
uglier.
fashioned.
It's old fashioned, but it looks now. Windows
It's
95
the traditional
was great.
spirit of old school MMOs.
I don't want to take anything away from Windows 95, but Windows 95 was from 1995. All right.
Yeah, and it was
Past that now.
like revolutionary for its time. So
It was actually crazy. That's why I point out 95. It was like one of the big ones. That and XP. Someone. I ran into a random player the other day that his name was XP Still Best Windows.
Hey, you don't
That's
like
pretty
Vista,
great.
my guy?
All right. Is that it with this stuff? I think that's it with this stuff, right? We got anything else we
I
want
think
to
so.
talk about when it comes to UI? Hopefully we get it in 2 weeks. I mean, usually stuff like this we get fairly quick, but we'll see. Like once it's actually on the labs. Because it's not actual content. They like to hold content back forever, but this stuff they usually give us, so hopefully we get it. Maybe. We'll see. All right, let me pull up... let's talk about Shultz real quick. Shultz. So I'm going to be giving... Reza, we're going to have to link Chemo's video in the description. So I'll post it in chat so we have it, but his is a good reference because he detailed it very well, the new Shultz location. So let me just find this real quick.
Oh, it's a new location?
Well, not a new location, sorry, but updated. So they revised Shultz. Oh, I clicked on our YouTube. That's the wrong one. Yeah, so they completely revamped Shultz, and it actually looks kind of insane. So in this video, I'll send this to you guys so you can see it as well. There you go. And then I would save that link, Rez, so you can just have it in the description so we give them credit for making this video. Chemo, if you haven't checked out his YouTube, check it out. He always puts up a bunch of cool stuff that comes on Global Labs and KR. This update skipped Global Labs completely and went straight to KR. So hopefully we get it kind of quick as well.
Straight to the alpha server.
What?
Straight to the alpha server.
It went straight to the open alpha. Yeah, it went straight to open alpha.
That's so true. It's so fucking true.
So they changed it's no longer AP capped. So the optimal 160 to 210 range is gone. It's now recommended 240 AP, which I believe is the same as Mansion's, right? Is it Mansion's recommended 240 or something, or 220? I don't know. This guy's on a seasonal character with I believe he's 248, like Kuda or whatever. Yeah, he's 238, 248, 308. So he's grinding here. He kills the shit pretty quick. So what they changed is now it only has two pieces of trash loot. When you kill buildings and stuff, you still get the stupid 75 silver sturdy fragment. When you kill mobs, you get that same, it looks like the Sausage piece, but the value has changed. You know, the Sausage ones that you normally have to turn in. And they're now worth 4,520 silver, I believe. The place also now drops Kaphra's Dust and Kaphra's Stones directly. Let me see if he pulls up the trash in this video somewhere. It still drops Grinnell and Heave pieces, so that's alright. And that stuff is still kind of worth some money. Still drops the Shultz neck and belt. Okay, so where did he put the trash suit value? Oh, here we go. Yeah, 45.20. So the trash is worth 45.20. It also weighs a little bit less. It only weighs 0.20, so not 0.30 anymore. So the weight thing shouldn't be that bad here. But this dude fucking made bank. So he's on a seasonal Meiwa in this clip. 238, 248, 308. And I'm not even going to count the Shultz neck because for some reason in KR, Shultz is worth 34 mil. Maybe because of the HP book. I don't know. The journal. But he did 2 half-hour loot scrolls. And in each of those half-hour, he made about 6,000 of the trash loot. Got 6 Kaphra stones. About 8 armor stones, 1 weapon stone, and then a bunch of just forbidden books and Grinnell and Heave and shit. So when he broke it all down, not even counting the Shultz necks, which for some reason are 34 mil, after tax, he made, where is this, his final number? After tax, he made 167.8 mil in an hour at this place with a loot scroll.
It's pretty insane.
And with a normal loot scroll, not advanced. If you subtract the 68 mil from Shultz, then he made about 100 mil here with a loot scroll, which is pretty fucking good. And it's brand new, so it's not like he did a perfect rotation or anything. I don't know if they moved any of the mobs or anything like that, but this place is super fucking dense. But it
doesn't really look like they did.
Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. I don't remember there being never mind. I haven't been there in a long time. Were there that many orange 10s? Seems like a shitload on this video. But maybe there always were, I don't know. Anyway, this place looks cool. Also, Meiwa looks busted as fuck grinding here. Holy shit.
Whatever. Fucking hell. The PvE, oh my god, it's so broken.
Yeah, so the biggest thing about that video is why the fuck is Shultz neck worth 34 mil?
It's probably KR.
KR meta, dude. Shultz next.
Yeah, what is that? Someone told me you could melt them the other day, and I was like, oh, can you? I was like, I don't remember you being able to melt a Shultz neck, so I went and bought a Shultz neck.
Yeah,
cannot melt them. Nope, cannot melt it. I tested. I bought it. So then I bought a second one because now I needed to make up my lost money, and I went for Pry, and it failed. So I lost both my necks.
Nice.
Oh, that's so funny, isn't it, Meiwa? God damn it, dude. I was pissed. I lost 24 mil for an experiment.
Probably for the best.
Hey, there's worse things could have happened.
Next journal requires the necklace on Duo.
Yeah, the next journal requires it on Duo. For the HP journal. But they've had that journal for a few weeks. I just can't believe that the neck is still worth that much. I guess there's that many people that need it. But hopefully we get that grind spot before it comes out, so those necks people will actually grind for them. And they're available.
Yeah, it's a little weird that it's that much for Shultz neck.
Yeah. So that's Shultz.
Well, I mean, if seasons become an actual thing for NA, with
Wednesday.
new players coming in, it actually might be worth to newer players. It goes up 2 every time, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's an okay starter neck, and I don't think there is a quest neck, so it might be the only neck worth enhancing before you get a real necklace. I think going through the quest line, there's really good rings now that you can get, and earrings and belt, but I don't think there's a neck, if I'm not mistaken. So Shultz might actually be decent. for that. Yeah.
That's true.
Dude, I actually love that new grind spot because it reminds me of like the old days of Manchums and Gahas. Like just run fast, kill a pack, run fast. If I could make 100 mil an hour doing that sometimes instead of always having to do like slow pulls on a pack, I probably would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rez, I think you like that style more too, right? That style of grind? Or do you prefer
I
pulling?
hate grinding in general.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Rizzler.
Yeah. I don't know. I just would like to be able to swap back and forth instead of having
I
to
like
always
fighting
pull.
opponents that
That
can
fight back?
actually fight back, aka PvP.
He hasn't been to Underwater Zone yet.
Yeah. There's
Those
some...
don't fight back. Those just hit hard. There's a difference.
Oh, they fight back, dude. Why don't you do just nighttime Shuriken Necropolis, dude, for some good PvP content?
XD.
When's
When
the
am I
last...
getting
Have
my,
you ever done it?
Yeah, I've done
Oh,
it.
okay. It's
I
top
did it
tier
when it
PvP.
first came out because I wanted to see how good it was.
The strikers
not
up
very good.
there, the strikers there in Necropolis are actually better at PvP than some of the strikers I know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Where's
That's,
my
that's a fact.
Where's my warrior weapon skin that turns my longsword into a mace? That'd actually be sick as fuck. I want that. It'd be pretty neat.
Yeah. Keep dreaming. Archer. Alright. Wizard Succession. Does it need to be nerfed in your guys' opinion?
Yes.
Yes.
Why? What
There you
would,
go. Discussion solved. Moving forward.
What would you change? Like, why? What would you nerf about it? I mean, obviously there's the PA discussion, but let's take PA out of the discussion because we know it has PA, and obviously we've all said multiple times.
I mean, what I would change about it is really simple. Like, basically, if you're gonna, all right. So the purpose of the kit is basically to allow them to cast their abilities in quick succession after doing a teleport. Correct?
No, not wizard. No. They can cast anything in rapid succession after using any of their abilities, basically. Their quick cast thing is like, as long as you've used one ability, now your next ability will be like the quick cast and remove the casting bar.
Yeah. So,
but the teleport does do that too. But it's not only the teleport.
To balance that, because of the speed at which it can be cast, the damage should be lower on the follow-up ability.
On the quick cast, you're saying it should be lower.
Yes. Right. Yes.
Yeah, the
damage should be lower. If they're gonna do the hard cast, the damage should be max that it can.
Okay, the teleport.
But if it's a follow-up,
it shouldn't be that. The teleport instant cast that's not the only skill that makes them instant cast. Just so we're clear. But people are saying that
it's just the main. It's just the main thing that is noticed.
Right. Now, is the teleport instant cast what's wrong, or is what's wrong that every time they teleport, Voltaic Pulse is also off cooldown?
Well, there's that too.
Because it's crazy to me that they can peel for an engagement with Voltaic Pulse. Like that's the crazy thing to me. Is like, because Voltaic Pulse cooldown is so low, they can teleport, and then their next teleport, like the next time they want to use like an engage or whatever, it's always off cooldown.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And it's such an insane engage. Like, it's such a good engage. I don't know. It's basically
I agree.
A 6 second. People complain to me about flash slash all the time. It's basically a 6 second cooldown flash slash where the CC and damage comes out instantly with no delay. And has an evasion debuff. I don't know. That the cooldowns might be the problem. Rez, what are your issues with it?
So you know how I've said forever that the reason Archer is really OP is because they might not be like particularly strong, or let's say the strongest at one thing, but they're literally not bad at anything, and that's what makes them powerful. Yeah, Suck Wizard is that, but worse. Like, they have longest range, insane damage, fastest fuck cast times. Some would say
insane slows.
No cast time. Ridiculous slows, ridiculous amount of movement. They just kind of do everything, and it's a bit of a problem. So what needs to be tuned down? I don't know, literally any of it. I don't think tuning down the damage would be smart. Probably either the casting, like how quick the shit goes off, would be the number one thing I would say. Maybe the mobility. I don't know. The mobility also seems kind of insane. Like, I know everybody says double TP, and I do think double TP should just be a standard for all Witch Wizard, both pre-awakening, succession awakening, just across the board. But they also have that little like third teleport that I always see them use, where they like do a little spin move. I don't know what the fuck it is, but they basically have 3 teleports that they just like kind of like
I think you're
they
probably
teleport
thinking of
in.
the new earthquake. I think you're
Maybe
thinking that.
they
They're-
rotate.
Probably. It's
here's
like a
what they-
Stigma ability.
Here's what every wizard does. They teleport in, Voltaic, kill like 3 people, because Voltaic's the most busted ability in the game, not counting PA. And then they do the little spin ability, appear behind everyone like fucking Shindaru, and then just murder like 2 more people. And then before anybody even has a chance to react, they just teleport out, and there's nothing you can really do about it.
To clarify, Shinduru is that character from the M. Night Shyamalan The Last Airbender movie.
Absolutely, you got
Okay.
that reference.
All right, so
100%.
I want to do this. I pulled up this video, and this is I just want so you guys get the effect. I don't want you to see it. I'm just going to tell you when he teleports and uses Voltaic Pulse in a single fight. Okay, so I'm going to start from 1. I'm going to just say it out. Okay, here we go. All right, this first one starting teleport, Voltaic Pulse. And he waits. He uses a couple abilities. Hold on. Side dash. Oh, now he's using Meteor. Teleport, Voltaic Pulse. All right, now we're waiting. This is a 1v1. He's fighting someone right now. All right, he uses a ranged Blizzard. Here we go. Teleport. Oh, but the guy wasn't close enough, so he didn't do Voltaic Pulse. But he Voltaic Pulse because the guy jumped into him and then the guy died. Dude, the cooldown is like actually so nutty to me. Like for how good that skill is.
Voltaic Pulse is kind of insane, just as an ability.
I mean, I honestly don't mind. I still don't mind the skill like by
Well,
itself.
it shreds your evasion still, right?
I'm just trying to think if Voltaic Pulse's cooldown was 11 seconds, would that hurt the class so bad? Like the problem is Witch, because the Witch succession is so fucking bad in comparison that if you nerf Voltaic Pulse, it would have to be only for one of them or make Witch succession not.
Well,
as
why
shitty.
does Wizard have Voltaic Pulse? It's not even a part of their original Awakening kit, right?
Some fucking idiot in a suit thought it would be a good idea to put the strongest ability in the game.
Like that's
on
what
the
doesn't
second
make
class.
sense to me. Why does Wizard have Voltaic Pulse in general?
Well, they share the same tree. The only thing difference is the passive and succession. They both got Wizard and Witch skills. Like Witch
Yeah, they
could
pretty
use
much-
Aqua Jail and
They
Bull
were
Light if
so
they want.
tired. They were so tired of coming up with unique successions that they just said, "Fuck it, just give them the same fucking thing, except for like 1 or 2 things." They didn't realize the ramifications of putting Voltaic on a second class.
So
Yeah, it's
to
not.
me, I feel like it's just the cooldown of that ability makes it really hard, and then the slows on all the ranged lightning, I feel like are just unnecessary. And the slow is pretty, isn't it 40%? I'm pretty sure the slow is 40%.
They're intense. They're actually
I mean,
intense.
they also like I haven't looked at the Succession Wizard because I haven't fucking been interested in it, but that class also just seems hella protected. I feel like I really struggle to CC those motherfuckers when they're like in like when they dive in and start casting all their shit. I'm playing Archer, right? I'm light years away, not even in danger of being hit by him. I'm using every unprotected CC I have in the game trying to CC this motherfucker to save my teammates, and he isn't taking any of it. He does not give a fuck. He just casts all his shit, gets 5 kills, TP's out like it was just another fucking day at work.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's how I do it.
Dude, this wizard named Genru, I'm trying to think what, I don't know, this is KR server maybe? I think. He's actually really good at it, but this shit's crazy, man. But the thing is like I don't want to make. I mean, I wouldn't want it to get nerfed to a point where the class isn't fun, you know. So that's why I feel like just a cooldown nerf and like remove some slows would at least be a start and see where it ends up from there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, my issue is that they literally don't have a weakness. Like, I don't know. Like, at least with Guardian, you could say, well, yeah, you just, like, grapple them. But Like, Wizard is way more mobile than fucking Guardian right now. Suck Wizard. Like, it's actually kind of insane that it's come to that, but it actually kind of has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They just have so much power at their disposal that's a little insane.
I think this guy, they're saying this guy's on Japan server. Looks like Japanese writing.
Also, what's funny, I've been talking about this on stream. I think what's been funny to see is how attitudes towards Archer have kind of like changed, but it's not because literally anything has changed about Archer. Like, as far as I can remember,
successions exist.
yeah, as far as I can remember, nothing has changed about Archer like at all recently. But just because Guardian and Suck Wizard now exist, and that is the new standard for what is considered like fucking obnoxiously OP, that Archer just seems tame by comparison. it's pretty
It
funny.
definitely feels more balanced than originally.
Yeah, my only thing with Archer is probably just their Q buff. It's crazy. But outside of that, I don't really hate them that much. There's just like classes that have a really hard time with them, but it's more like those classes kits are just lacking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, yeah, the Q buff, the class buff should probably maybe take a small hit somewhere. Not sure exactly where, but my biggest thing is Full Bloom. That ability confuses me. Why is it so powerful? Why is Archer's strongest ability the one where you have to shove your bow as a range class up their butt cheeks to get maximum damage? It's a very strange ability, in my opinion.
Right. Dude, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Genra's popping off, man. Frigid Frog. Frigid Fog. Also, I notice a lot of people say Frigid Frog when they're trying to say it too quickly. That sounds hilarious. Alright, so Wizard Suck is crazy.
What would you guys rather get to see nerfed? Wizard Succession or Guardian? Do tell.
See, I'm still not fully on
You
board
guys,
the
vote, you guys vote in the comments as well, in both the comment sections. Succession, Wizard, or Guardian nerf? I'm curious.
I'm still not fully on board with the Guardian nerfs just yet, or if they are, it's really just like something subtle like cooldown.
I mean, I'm not saying destroy the class. I'm saying if
No,
you
I
could
know, I
have
know.
your preferred way of nerfing the classes, but you could only pick one of them, which would you pick?
I actually think because of the style of Guardian, though, for a lot of players, it's way more frustrating to fight Guardian than it is Suck Wiz. Also, I think people get confused by the fact that it's a melee class and they're getting killed at meteor range when Guardians are fighting them. Feel
You're
like,
not
wait
wrong.
a minute.
Dude, I'll tell you, you want to know what part of the problem with Suck Wizard is, honestly?
By the way, everyone's saying mostly everyone is saying Wiz Suck
Really?
needs to be nerfed.
Am I?
Yep.
That doesn't surprise
For
me.
me, it's mostly Guardian. Well, it's kind of split now, actually.
I think, I honestly think the biggest reason, I know I have a lot of hatred for Suck Wizard right now, and probably a lot of other people do as well, is the state of RBF right now. I don't know if it's ever been worse, with these Succession Wizards just sitting on goddamn rooftops, just like free casting like 10,000 damage a second down onto people that can't even do anything about it. It's actually very not
That's what I
fun.
dream about doing.
RBF is like
Well,
the worst state I think it's ever been in right now. Honestly,
the worst consistent state. But the 2 weeks where Rangers Descending Current was knocking down people over and over was for sure.
okay,
worse.
yeah,
Oh
that's a
my
good,
God,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
that's
pretty
a good
bad.
point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, it's just crazy the amount of appeal they have too, because it's like anytime you engage someone on a melee class, it's like there's always a wizard within range to stop you from whatever you're doing.
Basically.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know, I'm like trying to like think of these patch notes in my head. If it was like the cooldown on Voltaic Pulse has been increased to 11 seconds. Now, I'm specifically talking Wizard. I don't know what they would do with Witch or what. Maybe it wouldn't even apply to Witch, but just for Wizard Suck. Voltaic Pulse increased to 11 seconds. The slow debuffs have been removed from the lightning abilities. And at least that would be a decent start. And let's see how that feels and then go
Or
from there.
if you're going to keep the slows on it, remove its damage on the lightning abilities.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would fuck with PvE too much probably, but yeah. I don't know. I don't mind
Fuck
I
them.
don't mind the damage that much. I mean, it
I
is
give
really
no
high damage.
shits.
I know you don't, but don't be a selfish
They've had a lot of fun PvP or PvE. That's a trade off. If you want to go
Alright.
Succession for PvP and be good at 1v1, because they actually are really decent at 1v1, especially with all the power that they have now, then you got to sacrifice your PvE. If you want to have PvE, then you go back to Awakening.
All right, who has the advantage in all of our matchups? I'm going to talk about your other class too, Rez. So Archer versus Wizard and Zerker versus Wizard. Suck Wizard. Who wins those generally? Or who should win those?
I don't know, man. I'm trash at 1v1s on Archer. I couldn't fucking tell you. Probably Wizard. Zerker versus Wizard. I don't know. Kind of depends if the wizard knows what the fuck he's doing or if he's just a goddamn basic bitch wizard. Probably Zerker has the edge, but only slightly.
No, she Mewa versus Wizard. Who should win that?
Depends. What's the gear?
If you fight a wizard with your exact gear, and the wizard is a replica of yourself, but you played the wizard for 3 years instead, who wins that?
Probably 55-45 Mewa.
So do we?
It depends on how the
do
Mewa
we
plays.
extrapolate
If the Mewa plays super safe and just goes for arrows and whatnot, and basically trying to time a CC on their earthquake, their little new stigma type ability, then yeah, we can land a CC fairly easily. But it just depends on how both classes are playing.
with chat, we can extrapolate from that. Either wizard needs to be buffed or Mewa needs to be nerfed.
100%
Oh my
nerf Mewa.
Oh man,
It's just because we can back off and not necessarily take a lot of damage, especially if we have the same gear.
yeah. I feel like Kuno wins that like 70-30, maybe 80-20. If you play patient, I guess if you're aggressive, you just die standing up.
Because you have a grab and you can ignore the protections.
Well, the grab is not this. I mean that helps, but that's not why. It's because like I can gap close on it if I'm patient.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can gap close too, but I can't really CC very many options.
Yeah.
Except
if
for
I didn't have
their
a grab,
openings.
I think it would still probably be 70-30, but the fights would be way longer. Way longer. I think that's the other thing that makes it such a hard matchup. Fighting a wizard or a guardian, specifically if you don't have a grab, like those fights end up being really, really long. Like if you want to act, like you can win. It just is like now you have to go from being hyper aggressive to being like, well, this is gonna take a while. I don't know.
Does your blackstones show up on your bar when you use them?
Pure Blackstones? Yes, they do. It's a little like sword icon with a shield, I think. It's like both a sword and a shield, if I remember. Can't remember.
Okay.
It has some icon there, but it blends in with the others, sadly. It's not unique. So it's kind of hard to tell. The other thing is like, all right, so I think on Sork, it's Succession Sork says they struggle a lot with Succession Wiz, but Awakened Sork, it's pretty decent, just because you have that frontal guard. But Suck Sork struggles.
Why do we care what Sorks think?
Oh, God.
I like to hear their opinions so that I can shut them down. That's it.
Oh my God, dude. Too much Sork. I'm gonna start being a Sork
I'm just bugging around.
Dude, imagine being a Sork and complaining about other classes.
I still love this. What someone posted on Reddit. It just cracked me up, and every time I read it, let me find it. Hold on.
I know which one you're talking about. The King of the Hill meme.
Yeah, playing Sork doesn't take 10 times more effort than other classes. All you do is spam iframes and pretend that it takes a ton of skill. Then he comes up and says, if those kids could read, they'd be very upset. Shit is so fucking great.
Yeah. All right. Seasons. All right. So I think we're getting seasons this week. They said in the forums we're supposed to get it on Wednesday. It's been delayed a week for localization. I still got my character unlimited stamina ready to go. Look at this guy, dude. Unlimited stamina, Meiwa. Can't be stopped. Can't stop, won't stop. Chase, chase, chase.
God.
Dude, you know what's going to be so hard? Like, just turning off that part of my brain that has to learn a movement combo and holding R and B.
Oh my god.
I actually do think it's difficult for a Meiwa or a Musa that's played only that class for a long time to play other classes because of that. Like, it's actually kind of jarring to do a movement combo. Like, try playing Awakened Ninja after playing Musa for a year, and you're like, dude, what the fuck is this movement?
Fair. It's fair.
So, I don't know. I'm trying to wonder if there's still... So, I think we're all just going to be doing the quests, right? And that's it? Just to get the rewards?
I think
or
so.
Are you guys actually going to be playing it like pretty... You're going to try to gear up to full pen or whatever on there? I think it's fairly easy, but I don't know.
What do we get? What's the fucking ring we get again? Remind me.
We get a Pen Kaposha ring at the end, which is equivalent to a Tech Crescent.
Okay. So
For some people in this chat, it's an upgrade.
I guess I could just sell my crescent.
Oh my god. I'm getting a copy pasta in my fucking chat.
They're going for pen. You could go for pen on it, Rose.
Fuck no, yeah, you goddamn mind.
Honestly, I'm playing a Guardian right now, and it's my main. I honestly think they should nerf her because she is kind of OP right now, but should stop nerfing other classes. Mage, wait, what? What? Mage, if fine, right now, and stop killing classes as Ranger. So sad. Jesus, the English on that is beyond me.
Rez, timestamp that. That
Timestamp?
was... Yeah, that was at 1 hour and 46 seconds in the video. And I want you to put a little dub in. Just do a little pause, and then you come in with your voice, just narrate. Be like, and now, a Meiwa trying to read. And then hit play.
It's not my fault. The fucking sentence structure is awful.
How about as he's reading it, I'll slowly fade his voice out and just fade in.
Just show me like getting Thanos.
Yeah, no, do like the church, or not church, like at the Grammys or whatever, or the Academy Awards, where it's just all of a sudden the music starts playing. Like, all right, Nash, your time is up. I just wanted to thank a few more people. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm looking at it as like an excuse to get skill points on a class, but the problem is then I can't use it as a main class if I wanted to. If I fell in love with whatever class I play, I won't be able to use it as a main class because it's stuck on seasonal for 3 months.
I doubt that's gonna happen.
I mean, it's only happened to me 7 times in my life, so yeah, I guess
Yeah,
odds are against it.
Those 7 times weren't a Meiwa, so...
No. They were Tamer when it was bad. Sork when it was bad. Ranger when it was bad. You know. Just balance carried classes. Dude, no one actually remembers when Sork wasn't good. No one remembers that you had to catch someone with Dream of Doom and then Violation over to them. And that was your combo.
Was that like pre-Rabom days?
That was pre-Rabom days.
Good old days.
The good old days of trying to CC a fucking warrior with only Nightmare, Turn Back, and Grim Reaper's Judgment. Oh,
dude,
fuck.
I don't know what's Sork has some catch that is like damn near fucking instant. Like there's no fucking way.
It's gotta be turn back. Does it bound you? Or what happens?
So. I don't know, dude. I fucking blink and I'm on the ground being comboed. Okay. I don't know what the fuck it is.
It's
so fast.
Turn back. The turn back C swap cancel is super fast. Or rather, the turn back cancel after an iframe. It's probably that. And it doesn't really have much of an animation, so. Just, don't be around a Sork. Easy enough.
Yeah. Just escape.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Seasons. So I don't know. Rez, are you gonna do the quest? I think you need to do 40 quests, but we have 90 days, right? The season lasts for 3 months or something, or 2.5 months.
Is it dailies or what is it?
I believe it's dailies, but you have like a lot of days to do it. So if you get behind, you can just catch up. I think it's just a daily quest. And if you complete all of them, that's what gets you the Kaposha ring and something else. Yeah, 40 dailies. I think that gets you the Kaposha ring, and you can convert one of the armor pieces into an actual boss armor piece or some shit like that.
I mean, how hard is the daily? Is it like talk to somebody, or is it like
you have to fight on Papu Island for 2 hours?
How many
Is it
times
like-
does Wrestler
we
have
need
to
you
hit
to-
the R button?
We need you to fucking carry this sheep from fucking Portaferia to Mukwin, somehow becoming negative karma along the way.
I could see that. Yeah, I
Makes
don't
sense.
know. I'm not too sure. I'm sure the quests are not that crazy. It's supposed to be for new players, so I doubt it's gonna
Dude,
be that
I
hard.
actually almost forgot what that fucking city is called. It's so useless.
The Red
I almost
City?
said Arahaza. Yeah.
No.
Almost
Damn.
said fucking Arahaza because that city's more useful than fucking Mukwin.
Ari, how's that? All right,
The daily is just to talk to the NPC, apparently.
that's kind of it.
Oh,
Should,
okay.
should we go,
Hey,
Connor?
definitely do that.
Rizzler can handle that. Rizzler can
Yeah,
handle
I'll definitely do that then.
I have a hard time with that because I can't ever find NPCs in this fucking game.
that. That's a fact.
If it's a different NPC every time, then I'm fucked.
And if we don't have information on it on Reddit or Google yet, oh yeah, definitely fucked.
Nah, it'll probably just be one NPC that you can just park your fucking season character at. Just remember to
Alright.
log into per day.
The last thing, this isn't super BDO related, but the Twitch streamer music policy change. I just wanted to mention one thing about it. So apparently they're going to crack down and do strikes and copy strike everyone that's using music on Twitch, whether you're streaming it live or it's in your clips or in the history or whatever. You basically got to remove all of the shit that's just you're not licensed, or you can be banned.
Banned?
Here's my thing.
Yep.
Banned. Your account could be banned. So my issue with it is this: is that I on one hand I see the idea or the thinking of like, hey, it hurts our bottom line to have these people using our music and sharing it for free with these people, except that it's not like you're getting an isolated high quality track that they're like downloading and keeping, like it's generally over video game sounds and a person talking and
them
reading chat and
talking,
this and
yeah.
that. It's all sorts of shit. So I actually think long term, now one, obviously it hurts Twitch streamers a lot, or we're going to have to start using unlicensed music, which is a lot more limited. But I think it hurts the music industry so much, especially smaller artists or up and coming artists, because the amount of times that someone in a major chat or a major stream
Ask like who's that?
yeah,
Who's that music
exclamation
from?
point song, what song is this? I love this song. And like I mean, just myself, I have gone into a chat where I either was like, dude, what is this song? Find out the song and have listened to that song like thousands of times on a paid streaming service, or like just bought the music or whatever. Like, and
Yeah.
that's literally just going to be lost. Like
Yeah,
that market is
I
going to
agree.
be lost, and that market on Twitch is huge. Like that is so big. There are so many artists that get new listeners from Twitch streamers that I just think the whole thing is so fucking bad, dude.
I mean, think about
That's such a
streamers
bad
like
idea.
me that literally, if it's just me talking, I'm fucked.
Dude, you're gonna have to basically just write music and hum it, and that's all you can do. Maywa's new stream is
hum
him
it.
just playing a mandolin by himself. He's not even playing Maywa. Oh, anyway, I just wanted to point that out. It's a fucking awful change, and I hate it. And I don't know, man.
Welcome to YouTube rules. Glad
Do you
you
think
guys.
is that
Dude,
related to
It's
the
not.
recent?
It's not even in YouTube rules, dude. In YouTube, you don't get your YouTube channel completely banned if that happens.
You can if it happens enough.
Dude, people use music all the time on YouTube, even like popular YouTubers. You do not get just perma banned.
Again, it can if if the company wants to, if they
But they
file
wouldn't
like, an
perma
actual
ban you.
suit you, then you can't. Yes, you
No,
can.
you would.
I'm
It would be a
telling you, I've
takedown
seen it
notice
happen.
or like be sued. You have not been
Yeah.
perma banned.
I
You have
haven't,
been
no, but
permitted.
other creators have. I'm literally telling you.
Okay,
They
but
have
but
before.
this is not through like a lawsuit or anything. This is like Twitch. Twitch is going to ban you.
Yeah.
It's not even,
I
like,
mean, Twitch
same.
can't take your money away like YouTube can, so
No, yes they can. They could demonetize you if they wanted to.
they can't just take away your subs, though, is what I'm saying.
No, but they could take away your ad revenue.
Like that's literally what YouTube does. Is they say, "Oh, you played 3 seconds of a copyrighted music, so now your entire fucking 2-hour video doesn't make money for you. Get fucked, idiot." That's what YouTube does.
Yeah,
That is exactly the verbiage they put in the email too. I swear it.
Yeah.
Like
Anyway.
again, I said it. I think I brought this up with you, but I don't know if I said it on the podcast. A couple episodes back, we played a clip from Joe Never Fails where he was screaming about trillions, and because in that like 10-second clip, in the background of his clip, Black Hole Sun was playing. My entire like 3-hour video on the channel was not making money. And
Also-
I still don't think is making money to this day.
Chat clarifies if in the Twitch terms of service they can absolutely take your subs from you and demonetize.
Well, if they ban you, then technically you don't get your subs either. So
yeah. Yeah, no, dude, I don't know, man. It's fucking weird. The other thing too is like, I don't know, the music, like having music in the background is just like just so it's not quiet and awkward. So it's like you're just gonna have to fill space with like nothing. I don't know. It's weird. I fucking hate it.
And by the way,
unlicensed music is cool. There is good unlicensed music, but it's not all cool, and it's definitely way more limited.
The word you were looking for is transformative. Earlier, by the way, that's what YouTubers have been fighting YouTube and UMG about for years now, saying that just because we use your song for 3 seconds in our clip does not mean that it's a copyright infringement because it's transformative in nature. It's not just a straight rip of your fucking song, you fucking dolts. But YouTube doesn't give a shit and UMG doesn't care because they're just stealing all the revenue that YouTubers are making. So, yeah. Welcome to the fight. Glad Twitch streams are finally on board.
Stupid. Stop acting like you've been oppressed forever. Relax.
I haven't.
You still can put clips. Like demonetize still is different than a permaban from the service provider. Like that's the thing.
It is, but
that's what's
like I
happening
said,
now. That's what's happening now
on YouTube.
I mean, you potentially could, but there's just not. It's not like what's happening now with Twitch. It's like way more intense. Like the fact that Twitch is going to go out of their way to ban people. That's all I'm saying. It's a little different. Like you haven't had your channel banned, and I know you use music.
We get it, social justice warrior. Your grief is way harder. We get it. We understand. I am trying to say
you're
that
literally saying exactly what you just called me.
I am not. I am saying what I am saying is
forever. That you're being the SJW, dude. What the fuck?
And so I'm glad that finally something else is happening because now maybe people will take it more seriously.
It's funny. The music industry is more guilty than anyone for stealing. Music is all about stealing other people's shit. It's not wrong there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that what will happen is that people will finally wake up and realize that this is fucking stupid. That these music companies are literally stealing people's fucking livelihood. That's what I'm hoping will come from this, because apparently people don't give a shit enough about YouTubers when it happens to YouTubers. So maybe now that it is also happening to Twitch streamers.
I wish there was a second version of Rezlar in here to call you a SJW for that sentence.
I mean, you can say it all you want. Like, you can literally look at videos. People have been complaining about this for years.
Yeah, it's been in all forms of media, like music, and the music industry has
Like,
been
Twitch-
a monster for years.
Twitch is
The
just
artists get
lucky.
fucked way more than the fucking YouTubers and stuff too, because
Yeah,
it's super
typically.
hard to share music. So if you don't have a label
But
that's going to
not
sue people
by
for
the
you,
YouTuber,
what?
but not by content creators. I am not fucking an artist by playing a 10-second
No, but
clip
the
that
artists,
happens to
the
have a
individual
song in it.
artists are not fucking you either. This isn't the artist. Twitch, this is. Never mind. I don't know. We're in the weeds.
This is
The art, a small time
Man,
artist that
you guys are
doesn't
talking
have
about jumping on
a small
tangents. We're
time,
getting
yeah,
serious.
a small time artist that does not have a major label is not fucking you, the YouTuber. If that's
But
the
they are.
accusation you're making, no, they are not like that. It's
Because
this is
they're
like
the
backed
ones-
behind like the record
They're the
labels
ones
and
who
the bigger
signed
companies.
with UMG. Hello?
What?
They're the ones who are working with UMG to take down people's fucking.
Small artists not on a label.
But then those probably aren't copy striking my videos and taking all of my revenue
Well,
from
right,
my
but I'm
3 hour
saying like this hurts. My point was this hurts like these smaller artists a lot. That's all I'm saying.
But this change won't affect those artists because those
No,
you
this
can
change
still play those
massively
artists.
affects those artists because people aren't going to be playing music on their channels because they're afraid.
Oh, because they're scared too. I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, if they just align themselves with, like I told you about the YouTube channel, no copyright sounds. You just have to, like, I mean, it's a
I know,
pain in
but
the
my
ass.
band's
Yes,
not
it
on
is
there,
a pain
or
for the worst for
my
them.
my band's
Yeah,
not on there. My friends' bands aren't on there. Like that's why it's like those are just lost now.
100%. 100% I agree with you. But like I'm saying, it's a fucking worse change for sure. I'm not arguing with that. But that doesn't mean that like you're not going to be playing music on your stream. You're just going to have to be way more selective and careful about what you're doing and hope that what you're doing is the right thing so you don't get fucking banned.
Yeah. Yeah. Scott says
I mean, the
artists
whole
don't
thing
work
is-
with record labels; they work under labels. Artists can give two shits. You're right, except there are a few artists. Like we all remember Metallica back in the day. There are some artists that do,
Or Tool. Hello?
or Tool. Yeah.
Remember when Tool was being all snobby as shit whenever Spotify first blew up? They were like,
Yeah.
streaming services are stealing from the artists, and everyone was like, okay, I guess we won't just listen to your fucking music then, you twats.
I think Eminem had the same kind of opinion on that too.
Yeah, but he gave in really quick because he realized that he was fucking stupid.
Well, it's
He
just,
gave in like less than a year later after he said that. Tool held out for like 5 years, and then finally we're like, okay, people actually aren't buying our music anymore. This is a problem.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants hard copies.
I think people still want hard copies, but the thing is it's like it's almost you can almost make a similar argument with like subscription for MMOs compared to like a one-time purchase. Like a one-time purchase is going to make you more money initially, but that stream of income is going to just slowly and slowly die out because the people who want your content have already purchased it, and the people that don't want it aren't going to go out and buy it. Whereas if you go with a subscription-based service, yeah, you're going to make less money initially, but it's going to be more financially safe in the long run because you have a constant stream of income from people who really do enjoy what you're putting out there.
And now with the banning of Twitch users and YouTube, or demonetizing of YouTube, I guess.
Discovery
Now-
is a lot harder.
Now those artists, not only will people that already weren't going to buy their music not buying their music, but now some of the people that might have bought their music will not because they will not have ever heard it.
Yeah.
Because no one listens to the radio anymore. Twitch is basically the radio now.
And by the way, I
More or
totally
less.
agree. I don't. Who said earlier about the executives about them being the only ones who were doing the shit? Was it Scott? He's 100% right. Like it's really not like very often or very few times do I feel like it's the artist that is really the one doing all this. I feel like most of the time it's like the agents or the executives or whatever that's just being greedy fuckboys, and they're like, oh, this YouTube video on this popular YouTube channel has, like 1 million views. like, you know, however many like dollars in revenue that is, and we can just take it because we heard our song for 2 seconds whenever he put this meme in there. So now we can take all of the money from this, you know, this video. It's those people that are really the fucking problem. I don't really have a problem with the artists, especially if the artists are like, you know, smaller and they're like trying to make it. But
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I think
It's just,
overall, I legit think overall it's just going to hurt all artists in general, but more so the smaller artists, at least at first. But long term, the big ones too. But I guess if you already made millions, you don't really care, right? Like, that's the thing. I don't know.
I mean, let's look at the glass half full. For those artists that have already kind of like labeled themselves as like being the no copyright type people, it's gonna be great for them.
That's true. But I just think
They are
about,
about
like,
to get a lot of plays, dude.
if you think about smaller artists, like if I went to some random Twitch stream, like let's say I was on Shroud's stream and I heard my band's music, I would be so hyped. Like, holy shit, this dude's fucking playing my song for 20,000 people. That's so fucking cool. But then, like, that probably won't happen now, you know? And there's a lot of music, there's a lot of artists, like small bands. Like, okay, so in my band, I can make it aware, right? And I can, like, put the shit on whatever services I can find that are going to find, like, non-copywritten music. But there's a lot of bands that they don't have someone that knows anything about Twitch or what Twitch is doing. That's just, they'll never do that. So that opportunity is just never going to be there for them ever. Because they're only going to put their stuff on iTunes and Spotify and Google Play and whatever. I don't know. Just this shit kind of bums me out, man. On both sides.
Like as a streamer and as an artist.
Yeah, dude. Because, like, I don't know. The off chance that some random dude plays my shit and we all of a sudden get 1,000 new people hear our song is cool. That chance is just out there, just in case, you know. And now it's just gonna be
Right.
gone, potentially. Sad, dude. I wanna cry. You know, it. I don't know. Comments.
Yeah. Like I
Alright.
said, the only thing I can hope at this point with the whole music situation is that people will actually like stand up against these fucking pieces of shit that are abusing copyright. Because it's been proved a million times before that just because we use some of your music or some of your clips or some of your whatever, it doesn't mean that we're infringing on your copyright as long as it's transformative in nature. Like, as long as it's not just a straight fucking rip of your shit, you know? So, hopefully people will finally realize this and make something happen, but I doubt it because, I mean, who has the money to fight against fucking these corporations, right?
Alright, so before we get into the YouTube comments, I want to point out your fun new quiz. You want to talk about your new quiz thing and how often are you going to be doing the quiz? 'Cause I think it was
Apparently I
pretty
made
awesome.
it too hard.
What the fuck? Don't worry about that feedback, dude, because if it's too easy, it's not going to be fun.
Dude, apparently I made it really hard. I don't know if maybe all the people who thought it was easy just aren't saying anything, but like most of the feedback I've been getting is like, yeah, I got like 5 right. I'm like, holy shit. That's
Well,
really bad.
How many questions were there?
The thing
25.
is like, my only feedback is the time to answer is not long enough. Especially because some of it you have to sit and think about what the question is, or like
But
imagine those
I
places.
literally say at the beginning that you can pause
Dude, yeah, you can pause it, but why are you making me do work, dude? God damn it!
it. I literally say at the beginning. You
But
do
when you
not
pause
have
it,
to
it
answer
makes
on
it
time.
it interrupts the cool background music that you're gonna get copy struck for and all sorts of stuff.
Bro, if Pearl Abyss copy strikes me for using the Kepler theme, I'm actually going to war. I'm actually going to roar. I'm going to war.
I mean, if you know the game, some are gonna like. Sometimes you're gonna feel like it's super hard, and sometimes it's gonna feel easy, right? It just depends on the questions that show up. But anyway, I think it was cool, and I'm glad you're gonna do it every 2 weeks and never miss a time.
Yeah, no.
Going forward.
Dude, that was so much more work than I thought it was going to be initially. Like, I don't know why. I thought the editing would be a lot easier than it ended up being. In my head, I was like, oh, this will be extremely simple. And then as I was making it, I was like, oh, well, I don't really want to do that because that would be kind of a cheap way of doing it. Or I don't know if I want to do it this way because that kind of looks shit. And then it just kind of ended up being a little bit more complicated than I thought it would be. I was kind of annoyed by it by the end of it. I was like, thank fucking God it's over with, actually.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, I did realize, of course, you always do this, right? Whenever you start thinking about it after you're done, is like I probably could have done some things differently to make it a lot easier on myself.
Yeah, you could put in the beginning that you recommend people do it with a group because it's way more fun that way, and then that way when you have multiple heads, it doesn't feel as hard. You know what I mean? Like if you do it with 3 or 4 people, I'm not going to know anything about lore, but someone might,
Your stream doing it was pretty funny because it was like it was so obvious which questions you knew the answers to because all of a sudden you were like completely not invested.
Well, there were
in
only like
the
4 or 5 that I knew, but yeah.
I also love at one point so a question popped up and it was a question that you had came up with, and whenever the question was read, you went, "Ooh." Like, oh, that's a good question. I was like, "It's your question."
I'm a fucking top. I'm one of the greatest actors of all time, dude. I deserve an Academy Award for that. Ooh, dude, I sold it though, right? Oh, this seems so hard.
Oh, what a great question!
What a
Who's the
fantastic
genius
question.
that came up with this?
Okay. Comments. Here we go. So for anyone who wants, every time we do the podcast, at the back half of the show, we read the comments out loud on the show. So as long as they're not just pure insults, except Meiwa insults are fine, but anything other than Meiwa insults are not acceptable and will not be tolerated. But we like to read these questions, get interaction from people, and just kind of talk about what we talked about the week before, see what you guys are thinking. So
And this is also where our views drop off a cliff on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, this is where people stop caring. But I think you miss a lot. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we get into topics or debates about that if you skip the comment section, you're actually missing kind of a lot, in my opinion. Kind of a big part of the show. It's Pride
or
says,
maybe people just like literally skip to the comments section and that's all they look for. Just every week the comments
nope,
section.
the stats don't bear that out, actually. It's Pride says, hell yeah, my guys, love the podcast, keep it up, can't wait to listen. Thank you, by the way. Nenny Caldwell says, damn, I was second, lol. Newt says, no timestamps, anger. What happened with the stamps, Rez?
Dude, when I started listening back to it, like I could have given rough timestamps, but we were so fucking all over the place. Like
we
back
were actually
like previous topics, future topics that we hadn't even gotten to yet that we started talking about early, but then kind of backtracked back to where we were supposed to be. I was like, dude, there's no fucking way. There's no way.
I was thinking maybe it'll make it easier if because generally I transition us like to the next spot. Maybe every time I could just type in Discord at what time in the video that is, so that way you just always have it.
That would certainly help, but that wouldn't have fixed what happened last episode.
All right.
Last episode was literally just we were back and forth so much and just talking about random shit so much that timestamps did not seem relevant, honestly.
Vel in 20 minutes, by the way.
No one cares.
Yes, they do, dude. It's a free 9 bill every week. Okay.
You wish.
9 bill every week.
Welp says, there's a siege scene? With a question mark. I thought that was in the same category as 7-foot shies. Just make-believe.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
There is a siege scene.
Actually,
yeah.
I was complaining about this on stream yesterday. It's like how boring Siege is right now, honestly.
Did you see Valencia or Medaya? Medaya was kind of interesting yesterday.
I heard it was another boring fight.
Nope.
What happened
There
then?
was some fun techniques, dude. Barcode and Black Rose showed up 30 minutes early and blocked Snake from getting in the castle, and then took their gate down immediately and like killed him in like 10 seconds. Like,
How the
and
hell did they manage that?
I don't know. That's what
Wait,
I was
but that-
told, that
wait.
they weren't able to get in to like actually protect the gate early on since they were there so early. So like, if you take the port like running up to the gate, I don't fucking know. I don't know how it went down, but
I
supposedly they
thought
camped
the
the
way
bridge.
when it starts, it usually kicks you out of that area.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought too.
doesn't
But I don't
isn't
know.
it supposed to kick you out?
It was explained to me that they camped the walkway like leading up to the siege, and they weren't able to like get in position, kind of thing.
So okay.
Yeah,
That
I don't
still
know.
makes zero sense to me.
I know. I
don't
need to
understand.
see it. I didn't see it, and I only heard it
So
explained.
no one thought to switch channels like 15 minutes before it starts, and then switch back after they're already inside
Yeah,
the castle.
that's what I was about to say. Is like if they did it 30 minutes before, you could have.
I guess they kind of. I guess the idea is they didn't anticipate them doing that. So what happened
Yeah,
is
Snake shows up
they didn't have
exactly
enough
when they need
time.
to. I think it was a. I don't know.
Well, I guess
It was
that
a
means
whole
you need to
coup.
take it more seriously. Then I guess that's all that really means.
Top siege guild, by the way, guys. XD.
Still a fun situation.
I
in my
mean,
opinion.
back in the day when Siege and Node Wars in general were more serious, I mean, people were prepping hours hours
Oh,
ahead
yeah.
of time for that shit. So
Dude,
if it's died down to the point where they're not prepping and whatnot, then that's kind of on them for not being prepared.
Dude, back when fucking Vudani was leading Vertex, dude, that guy did nothing but like prep all fucking day Saturday. From like the moment he woke up to like the moment the fucking Siege podcast ended. And that is all he did that whole day. It is insane.
Yeah, when we went to work with them for that one siege when we were Hex, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna get everyone that's allied with us into a voice call, and we're gonna go over like the plan." And it was like a 90-minute session with like graphs and a chart and a map with drawings, and I was like, what the fuck am I looking at here? Like this was like plans to rob a bank, and then he's like, all right, so here at 1 minute 30 seconds into the war, you're gonna do this. At 2 minutes 40 seconds, you're doing this, and then this, and then this, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm never gonna be able to do this. I don't want to be a GM anymore. I quit.
Yeah, the Hex, the T2 Siege guild that was still struggling to get people to just get on the fucking ping.
Yep. Although we did win the siege before that, and that siege we actually were 1v2 against Vixens and Legatum, and we're winning. We almost had Vixens fucking dead
Nice.
too before Cho killed or before Cho died to Snake. But whatever, shit happens. That war was almost fucking amazing, or that siege. So damn close to being amazing.
It was still pretty fun, honestly.
It was fun because that one lasted a pretty long time. It just sucked our CTG thing in the beginning fucked off because it was so laggy. It was a total waste. The whole thing was a total waste. Half our guild was disconnecting too. Ugh. Yeah, that was a clusterfuck. Vasmir G says, I miss how coordinated balls were in Guild Wars 2. Wish BDO had that kind of large team play. I haven't done large scale GVG or large scale in Guild Wars 2 at all. I've only just played like the basic bitch game and leveled up, and that's it. What has anyone done large scale? Any of you guys played it? Guild Wars 2?
Nope.
I've done the leveling, not the PV large scale play VP though.
Justin P says Moreland is a cool dude. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He is. He's an extremely cool dude.
Hughes Celis says nice. Look forward to this every Monday. Lost Souls has a link and says Pendandy boys. I think he tapped his Pendandy. Congratulations,
Nice.
Lost Souls. I can't.
He's a
click the link.
returning player, right? So he's got that returning player RNG.
Yeah. JHM says, in my opinion, I'm glad they are changing the weapon switch coupons to an in-game thing because they bust my class, then I'm kind of stuck paying 140 to switch, so they fuck me and I reward them for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for that shit.
I still think in the end, I think it's going to be bad for them to make the change unless it's relatively easy to get coupons in game, because I just think the amount of people that will get burnt out on their class and probably would keep playing BDO if they could switch will now just quit or play a different game instead. Honestly. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Small Dick Stole Your Girl says, to fix Siege, they need to max out the merc system to 5 or 10 members, get rid of PA, and revert the HP change. This might not fix everything, but this would be a good change going in the right direction. Yeah, it would also need other stuff, but yeah.
That's a good start,
It's a
but
good start.
yeah, definitely needs more than that.
It might allow different strategies besides ball v ball, which would be fun. Will Maddow says, we was pressing the GM and asking them if mapping was okay. This is a quote. So he says, quote, we were pressing the GM and asking them if mapping was okay, end quote. Oh boy, looks like someone slipped up. I know exactly.
You
what
went
that...
robot mode on me.
Oh, am I
Yeah,
robot?
you're robot mode for me as well.
Am I still?
Yeah.
1 sec.
Almost went auto-tune there for a second.
Yeah, I think it's a Discord bug that I get sometimes. Hold on 1 second. Let me just reload Discord.
I can hear Nyashi just fine.
I just need to reload. It's just a Discord bug. Is it okay now?
Nope.
Seemingly.
Really? Stream says they can hear my voice just fine, so I'm wondering, I don't know. Discord's just fucking up?
It's just Discord on your end, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better now, though.
Tell them
There's
to
some more
listen
shit.
on stream, yeah. We'll get those old delays we had back in the old videos, Rez. Let's see. First choice says... I mean, I'm recording locally, so since I'm reading it, it's alright. As long as you guys sound okay, so on the recording it should sound fine. First choice exterior cleaning says F. Resler Nita, F. Frostina, F. Nyash Leisha, and also thumbs
Wait,
up
what?
and love the show, you bunch of delinquents. Well, thank you.
We're getting chick names now.
That's you're sexist, Nyashi.
Ashelina, is that what he said?
You are Nyasha Leisha.
No.
I don't know, dude. Thank you for the kind words, though. Soup Pants says, the other week you mentioned that you can be 80 gear score less than the other guy and still one combo him 100% of the time. I assume by soft cap you meant the full Tet boss with tri-orange accessory that's 544 gear score. Take everything in gear set to pen, you get 612, 68 gear score difference from our soft cap. Do you mean to tell me that if I'm soft cap and you're full pen, all I have to do to kill you is CC plus combo you once? Let's say you don't SA trade. How about blocks? I can't imagine blocks. My blocks be of any use if you're full pen, even if I'm Valk or Warrior. Well, it depends. Like, are you? I still reject the notion that full tri accessories. I know people get super upset about this and they're passionate about this. But in 2020, full tri accessories is not soft cap anymore. It is as easy to get Tet accessories today as it was to get tri accessories 2 years ago. Even though the enhancement chance is less, the supply is always there. You make way more money and you can just buy them. Plus, Kaposha earrings and accessories are makeable. So, like, getting to that point is just way fucking easier. Everything is easier, basically. So, but anyway. Yeah, actually, you could kill someone that's full pen. I mean, if they're full Kaffrist up, it might be kind of hard, yeah. But if your AP is high, generally what people are doing is they're like super high AP and low DP. They get DP last, so they're still able to kill everyone. Your block and stuff, it will be of some use, but you can't just stay in it as long. But yeah. Zero replies and says 80 gear score would be impossible for one comboing, but I'm definitely... I want to say I'm 70 gear score above Sammy, and he can one combo me. Or I'm 70 gear score above... What's your gear score, Nashi? I'm probably like...
605?
Oh, shit. Alright, I'm only 40 above you, but you delete me pretty fast. It's more an AP thing. Like, that's the thing. Gear scores also
Yeah,
count
once
DP.
you get to a certain AP bracket, you can basically handle someone as long as you can catch them.
I mean, I'm 570 and I can one combo you on a Zerker.
Like, for example, I can't out trade Frosty because of his DP, but He's so Pepega, it's easy to catch him, so it's not a big deal.
I still can't, even though you can't outtrade me, I can't just sit in like a lingering essay and take your
No,
damage
you
either,
can't.
you know?
No, you can't.
I mean, how much more gear score do you have on me, Frosty? Out of curiosity.
What's
if I'm
your
like
gear score?
I'm 5. I would be 5, like 70 something.
Then I would have 75 more than you.
And I can still one combo you. So there, we just disproved this whole point.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, there are some classes where it's a little bit harder than others, but for the most part,
You
yeah,
roboted.
most. Yeah, okay. Stream can still hear me okay? I don't know. Maybe my internet's fucking off.
Hold on, let's go to let's try to restart the call. Yeah.
You started the call though, so
Yeah, I
it should
know.
be based on
Somebody else-
yours.
Okay.
Everybody hang up and then somebody else restart.
This is pro, dude. Pro right here. Nah, she didn't hang up yet. Naya's having a hard time figuring out what we meant. Nayash, you have to disconnect from the call.
Yeah.
Okay. There he goes. All right. There we go. Let's see.
That was mid-fight, that's why.
Nayashi was being griefed by Zerker. That's why it took so long to disconnect. for a second.
Fighting Kuno.
I was wondering. I was like, is Nayashi gonna leave?
Galahad says, "How about making protected area a guild skill instead of a class skill?" I also like that idea.
No, not unless they make it easier to use guild skills.
Well, it should just be like it would be like a one-time thing, like one war, you know, or once.
Yeah,
a war.
but again, like guild skills are already such a pain in the ass for the GM to fucking use.
Yeah, they are. They should be hot buyable or quick slottable if you want. Yeah, I agree. But even still, I still would prefer it be a guild skill than what it is now. All right, so Spirit of the Sun says, "Why is Sork BDO's most hated class?" Do you guys think Sork is the most hated class right now?
No.
No.
You think that you're delusional? Sorry to break it to you.
Guardian and Succession Wizard that are most hated.
Yeah, I think Guardian suck Wizard. I even think these days Kuno is more hated than Sork, at least publicly. I don't know. Sork is like I think part of it is because so many people were playing Suck Sork, and now Suck Sork's like not in a bad state. It's like easy to deal with them.
Oh.
So maybe they'll go back to being the most hated as people are slowly switching back to Awakening Sork. And they realize they can't be touched.
I think Sork's probably number 3 right now, behind Succession Wizard and Guardian.
What about Shy? Someone in the chat's pointing out Shy. I think Shy is pretty hated because it just feels so
Cobain just
gimmicky.
Cobain just tunes in and he's like, "Oh, sounds like I came at the good time."
Yeah, I don't think Sork's
Speaking
the
of
most
Sorks.
hated class. I don't know.
No, we were saying publicly Sorks aren't really looked at as the most hated class nowadays. It's usually like Guardian or Suck
If
Wizard.
I had to assign values, here's what I would put for your top 5. I'd probably say Suck was definitely number 1, Guardian definitely number 2, probably Sork at 3, probably both Awakening and Succession because they're both obnoxiously overpowered. Probably Shy after that just because of the fucking bubble. Everyone hates that bubble. And then I don't know who I'd put at 5, maybe Kuno. There are rumblings of Kuno complaints.
There are rumblings.
I feel like are growing every week.
I think we're too close to the situation though, because I mean it. Because I think if we step aside from like the fact that one of us mains Kuno, I still hear people bitch about Ninja more than I hear Kuno. I just talk about the Kuno ones more because it's a class I play.
I think
Maybe.
it's more because basically more players play Ninja than they play Kuno.
Actually,
that is also true. Yeah,
people complain about Tamer Trap a lot, even though it's not a super popular thing. Like people fucking hate the Tamer shit, but it's not.
Well, it's because when you fight a Tamer, you just lose.
Yeah,
because there's only one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think it's the most hated class. Maybe on what server you're from, but in NA it's up there, but it's not the most. Todd Thorson says, "Thanks again for the podcast. Always a delight. If you ever play Destiny 2, I'm really hoping Thorntree Castle will be like the game mode Gambit in D2. TLDR me continuing to explain the game mode. All right, let's hear what this game mode is. Basically, you're farming mobs, get drops, put those drops into a goal, and get points. Dying will cause you to lose drops you're carrying with you. During certain point caps, you can take a portal, infiltrate the opposing team's world, and try to sabotage for them by killing them, making them lose their drops, stealing mobs, etc. Once you hit game point, a boss will spawn, and you race the other team and killing it for the win. It's really intense, loads of fun, also the reason to play it that otherwise trash tier game. LOL. That sounds fun as fuck. If that was in BDO, that would be super, super fun.
Gambit's pretty fun. Gambit is probably, outside of the first like 2 hours of playing Destiny 2, Gambit's probably the only fun time I've had in that game.
Yeah. That sounds like a fun game mode. I'd be down for that. That's similar to Dredging. I've talked about it before, but Dredging and Ion was the same way. It was like you start at point A and point B, and to unlock these zones is basically like a maze. You can imagine like a crossword puzzle, or not a crossword, sorry, a tic-tac-toe board, where like the lines are the actual like path that you're on, and Team A starts in the top right, Team B starts in the bottom left, and to open up the paths, you have to kill the packs of mobs, and you get points for each mob you kill. And yeah, at some point, you're opening up enough of the paths where now you can engage the enemy and either try to take the same mobs they were going for or kill them or whatever. And yeah, that shit's super fun. Thuddy. Oh, wait. Sorry. Kagri YPR says, "Oh, was that a triple stun from Mystic? I love the intro." And then R9S replies, says, "No, it was a triple stiffen," which is true. Thuddy. 3001.
As much as you like to talk about how much you love Good Vibes Guy, you sure do harp on him a lot for making that mistake.
Hey, you know what? He probably thought it was a stun because it gave apparently enough time for you to run all the way behind them in Ancient Wave.
Well, wasn't it didn't Krixta follow up with something in that clip as well? I don't
probably
really
some
remember.
ninja, busted ninja stuff. Who knows? At the time, Bladespin had a float, so there's that.
There's that.
3001 says, "It is not real. It is not something sexual. It is real, not something sexual." XD. I forgot what that was in reference to, but you guys, we said something like that last week. I can't remember for what or why. West J Finn says, "BDO console will be on the next gen. From what I know, Xbox Series X, not sure about PS5, will run everything its previous generation can. Hashashin and whatever the new class name will be, KR PC, then console, then NA EU PC, according to a roadmap post." And yeah, we saw that the post last week, so cool. BDO console on Xbox Series X. Look at that, dude. Maybe you guys will get boosted to 40 FPS instead of 24.
40 FPS.
Yeah,
That's bad.
I know, I feel bad, dude. I feel bad.
Dude, I've been loving all the memes about the new have you guys seen the new gen consoles?
Oh yeah, the
I've
PS5.
heard that they came out as far as the announcement, but I haven't seen
You
them.
get your pick between a mini fridge or a fucking router. Take your
Yeah.
pick. That's literally what they fucking look like. It's so bad. The memes have been so good.
Let me find that. Hold on.
My favorite meme has to be the next gen consoles are gonna be fucking 4K and support like 180 FPS, and then it's like the feels bad man emote. It's like when you realize your TV isn't 4K or 180 FPS. Kaiba, yeah, the Kaiba ones have been fantastic. They've all been fucking amazing, honestly.
I can't find this fucking thing. Dude, someone posted a screenshot of like it was like the Wi-Fi. It was like, "Hey, I got my PS5 or whatever like early," and it's literally like this Wi-Fi router looks exactly fucking like it, dude. I wish I could find this. It's so funny.
Oh, and then it's just like 2 pieces of black paper like taped onto the ends of it or something. I saw something like that.
I'm searching it now. PS5 Wi-Fi. Fire rapper. Oh shit. Oh no. Yeah, I didn't see that one. That's funny. Hold on, let me pull this. Yeah, I didn't see that one. Oh no. Dude, I think it looks fucking cool though. The one with the disc looks kind of weird, but I think the one without the disc looks pretty cool on the new PS4. What about this? Hold on, let me pull this image up. This is open in a new window. Here we go. That's for the stream. So this is an image of Nayashi and Rez. Enjoy this. This is basically a mallard duck, and the PS5 is its beak.
God.
Oh my gosh. That's fantastic.
Oh, dude, I like because it has the dot on the top for the nose. It's fucking perfect. All right, moving on. Yeah, the PS5 looks interesting, to say the least. I don't know. It'll probably be kind of cool, right? I'm just kind of over console a little bit. I don't know. It always feels so limiting.
It's funny you say that because I was literally just thinking about buying a PS2 the other day just to play an old PS2 game back in the day, Infamous. Did you ever play it?
Oh, I do. I don't remember. That's where like you have like power in that game, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
you have
okay.
like electric power, and you can
Yes.
choose to be like good or evil and
Yeah.
shit.
They're making a new
Dude,
version. You said,
I
for
suddenly
PS5?
got I suddenly got a heavy fucking urge to play that game the other day, and I looked it up to
Really?
see if you can play it on PC, and apparently the only way you can play it on PC is as like an emulator or something.
Damn.
So I was like, dude, I might just buy a fucking PS2 just to play that fucking game.
Yeah, that game was cool. I remember that game. Lord X says, or Jules says heart. Lord X says, watching this one for the second time. Lots of talking points. Really enjoyed it. I've asked the devs if that new region is coming out end of this year / early next year or end of 2021. I will update when / if they respond. If there are any burning questions you want to ask them or any ideas, communicate, let me know. It's hard to get answers from them on some topics. Also, there have been times I personally agreed with their responses, which I communicated as politically as possible. Hopefully they don't boot me from the program, XD, and also cause NDA. Some info I can't pass on if they don't greenlight it, but at least it will be in their radar. I've told them to watch your content a couple of times now.
Oh,
I don't know if
that's not good. They shouldn't do that.
Oh, dude, watch us. Definitely watch us, dude. Pearl Abyss, if you're listening out there, tune into the show. We've got the answers.
Tune in the show. We have all the answers.
Yeah.
Fucking yikes.
Jesus Christ.
That's funny. I like it. Ash McLeod says, I'll bet a gifted sub that Reslar forgets Patreon members next week. Again, I would love for 1v1, 2v2 leaderboards and the top 5 battle for each one are recorded and put up on YouTube. Every week it can be rotated to a different arena in the game, except Velia, fuck that Pallet Town dirt patch. What the fuck? The hatred for the Velia arena, dude. Yeah.
Did you say Pallet Town?
Yeah, he said, fuck that Pallet Town dirt patch, dude. Alright. Tilter 321. So this is semi-serious, semi-tongue-in-cheek response to your thought about my comment from last week about merging Awaken and Succession. But if everyone is OP, no one is OP, right?
Not necessarily. Some more OP than others.
Yeah, but everyone will be OP, and then which wizard will be super duper OP?
Yeah.
They'll have 2 voltaic pulses.
Duper OP.
The issue, and that would just like, okay, here's the issue with the way BDO has been going, right? The issue is, and I don't want to turn this into a huge discussion, but iframes have been increasingly more valuable as everyone becomes stronger because you do not take any damage whatsoever. You cannot be slowed, you cannot be touched in an iframe. So if we just keep ramping everything up to the max, it's just going to continue to separate iframes from super armors and frontal guards.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's only one class with good iframes, and that's Guardian. They have 4 of them.
They have 4 of them.
Guardian has good everything. That's why whenever who was it in Discord the other day that was like, does Guardian have whatever? I was like, you honestly could have stopped it. Just does Guardian have? The answer is yes. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
The answer
Daz
is typically
says,
yes.
I feel like Witch Wizard needs some serious rework from the ground up. Less range, less AoE, better mobility. Where's my split teleport outside of Wizard sucked? PA, and of course, a heavily nerfed PA. Most complaints about the class is them being too weak in 1v1 and too strong in large scale, so nerfing their large scale capabilities while improving their dueling potential while still keeping their caster flavor would solve a lot of issues that people have with the class. I'm not holding my breath for anything like that happening though. Nor should you, because you'll die. Travis7067 says winter 2021 to me can mean January or February too, and I'm not Korean, Lamau. I was wondering why the fuck people were thinking they meant a whole year and a half from now. Yeah, I think people associate winter like just in their head with Christmas
December.
and December.
Yeah,
You know?
December.
So I don't know. Sorry, we probably got demonetized because I said Christmas. I meant the holiday times. Lord X
Holiday times.
Lord X says, God damn it, Frosty, I couldn't sleep last night because I kept thinking on how you bought 2 sets of reroll coupons for the new class and I had only 1 set. Well, I had to double dip for protection against that hammer that is balance, and if I like the new class and stick with it, I got an open door for a future reroll long down the road that is BDO. Yeah, dude, you gotta have 2 sets just in case. You never know. Also, we'll get to play the new class for a while before we know if we're gonna roll to it, because you can't roll for like 60 days or 30
Or
days after
hear me
awakening.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. You could buy 8 sets.
I was thinking I'll probably be playing. I mentioned this to some friends in Discord the other day, and I was thinking like I'll probably at most be playing BDO for what, 18 months, maybe 2 years at most. Like if there's not a new game that's really exciting by then, like oh my god. But so what if I just get 18 sets and call it a day? And that way I can just play a different class every month and not feel so beholden.
How much money would that be?
It's neither here nor there. The Blockius says really nice talk with a lot of good points, especially how the community does its best to kill the game because they somehow hate it. Also, as a shy, yes, please make us useful besides holding a door. Give us the PA with longer cooldown and take the bubble for it. Bubble is just annoying in a fight because it's like the only thing that has friendly fire and also the only thing that can just stop a whole push. And it just feels like big lag when you're in it. It just doesn't make sense with Shy as full support in the picture of Witchards to have the best heal and a PA. If you give up on all damage, then you better be the best support in game and not only a cute door holder.
Well,
I
that's what
still
they
wish-
are right now, anyways. So might as well give them PA.
I honestly still wish the bubble did what I originally thought it was going to do, which is block outside damage. Like, I remember when we originally saw it, I was like, I wonder if that blocks damage from the outside or something. And I wish it was still like that, because then that would, I mean, I feel like that would open a lot of room for, like, strategy in, like, large scale and stuff. If you could, like, set up these areas where you're safe from fucking witches and wizards and archers and zerkers and succession rangers, you know?
Yeah. Vel is dead, I heard. Uh-oh. I missed Vel. Wait, I was in the platoon. Maybe I got the bundle. Fuck! I wasn't paying attention. Did I get a bundle? Oh, I got a bundle. Okay. We good. We good.
Beautiful.
We
You
good.
barely made it. Barely made it.
No, I like got into a platoon early and then completely forgot about Vel. But it still gave me the bundle, so we good. Alright, let's see. 0H says, LOL, what you mean? The tooltip is totally accurate. Meiwa's got minus 30% melee accuracy on blind thrust. Imagine the karma bombing version of bounties. You walk into, mess up someone's rotation, force them to kill you, bounty them, and get someone else to kill this person off the spot. You and grind their spot. Profit. LOL. Yeah, that probably would be bad. I mean, there's also still you could just deck, right? I'm sorry, Scott. Let me open this
Yeah.
bundle, dude. I'm about to get a Vel's Heart. People about to be pissed. All right, let's see. Dude, everyone died to Vel today. What the fuck? All right, fingers crossed. Here we go. We're taking the bundle. I did not get a Vel's Heart. Why
Good.
did I not get a Vel's Heart? Again.
Cause fuck you.
Dude. Oh, I got this Prairie Green Coral. What is this? It's worth like 750k.
Oh my lord.
Dude, this game.
Should I take over the comments? You seem distracted.
No, shut. Dude, this is content because we didn't have a guest this week, right? We're just
This is not watching you open
killing
a
time.
Vel's bundle is not content.
If I would have got one, that would have been crazy. I would have screamed.
Yeah, but you didn't, so let's
didn't.
move on.
Well, I don't know what that prairie coral is, dude. I've never seen it before. All right. Francisco Acosta says this game is not dead yet. ? Trash MMO. You're not wrong, dude. Tim says 26 billion. Poor Frosty. It's 34 bill now, dude. West J Finn says look at console's Margoria launch. We got no cron meals, no drafts. He meant to say drafts, but he spelled it droughts. We were promised would be coming now instead of Dregan, and no free sailboat quest. So unless you saved 50 Shikatsu seals, everything outside of the ferry is unplayable for the next 20 days while you build a sailboat. At this point, the development on console is so beyond a back burner, even though console and BDO was above 10% of their entire revenue for 2019. It's disgusting the way PA treats their player base. See, dude, and everyone wants PA to fucking take over our game. I don't know, man.
Yep.
I actually think Cacao might be the lesser of the two evils, honestly. Matthias War says ZZZ. Yeah.
I was gonna say somebody. I forget who it was. It may have been Yume. I don't remember. Somebody said, "Do you think Probus would do more to stop Panoise if they took over our game instead of Cacao? You think they would?"
Maybe.
To stop what? Pilots?
Sorry, the pilots.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just auto block out your racism.
I know you were already calling 811 the social justice police in your state.
Uh-huh. Dude, that's twice you call me out on that, dude. Even though you're a hypocrite, dude. Biggest hypocrite ever. Yeah,
You live in California.
I don't think that they I don't know, because the thing is in Korea, again, it's like tied to social security numbers, so it's a little bit easier to track.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So I'm not too sure. You get in Korea, you have a gaming license, dude, and it'll be taken from you. All right? Can't play anything. Matthias War says ZZZ 20 minutes in, still listening to politics. Like 90% of the people now weren't even playing at that point. That's true.
It was just two old men reminiscing.
Yeah, dude.
Give us that.
You gotta enjoy it. You gotta hear the history of the game. 90% of the people now definitely weren't playing. I mean, I don't know. I was asleep too during that part.
You don't want to hear your fucking granddad's war stories, but you still listen to him just to be, nice. He doesn't have much longer on this planet, okay? Just listen to him and nod your head every once in a while.
Yeah. 20 minutes in. 20 minutes in, still hearing a topic I don't care about. God damn it. It's Pride says, I don't know if Tim and Lucari are really alike. Lucari trolled a lot, but would always be laughing, and you knew he was joking. With Tim, he kind of portrays himself as a shitter for real, but still love the podcast, Rez, Frosty, and Nay. Portrays himself as a shitter for real.
I think you can compare Lucari to Tim in some instances, but they're definitely not the same person. That's for sure. But that being said, I still stand by what I've said before, which is I personally don't think Tim deserves half of the shit he gets. I know that he stirs up a lot of trouble and a lot of drama, whether that's intentional or not. I know people like to say what they like to say, but the fact that people are literally just trying to kill his guild just because like he is who he is just horseshit. Like the man's just trying to run a siege guild and have some fun. Like Jesus Christ.
And that's it. That was the last comment. You want to close this out, Rose?
Sure, I guess. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. Make sure you leave a comment letting us know your thoughts on all the shit we talked about. I don't think we have a guest lined up for next week yet, but we'll try to get one, I suppose. We need to do community nights again. Let's do a community night this week. When's everyone free? Let's set this up right now on the podcast.
All right, just not on a war day. So for me, preferably Tuesday, Wednesday, or it could be one of the war days, I guess.
Just give me enough notice. I'll try to make it work.
Okay. So why don't we say Wednesday? Let's plan for Wednesday then. How about that?
All right,
Seems
patch
fine.
day night, community night. What's it gonna entail? Give us like an idea of what we probably should do. Like, what are some of the options we have? What are we doing on community
I
night?
don't know. We can just do some BA stuff like King of the Hill or something.
All right.
Just hang out in Discord and talk. You know, why not? That's what we used to do. We stopped doing it because I don't know. We just didn't do it. So we need to try and get back into it. You know, reconnect with the community. So Wednesday night, this Wednesday, when at Node War time, when do you guys want to do it?
Yeah.
What's the best?
After 6:30, preferably
6:30. What time zone?
6:30.
Eastern.
So
Sorry.
he's Eastern.
Okay, that works for me.
So that would be fun. So let's do Node War time at on Wednesday. If you have Node War on Wednesday, sorry. If we're still there whenever you're done with Node War, feel free to come hang out with us. We'll be hanging out in the community Discord around Node War time on Wednesday for an hour or two, maybe longer. Just depends on how many people show up and how much we are enjoying the PvP and the discussion. So come check that out. Make sure you join the community Discord. What is that in EU Papega time? I don't know, dude. Do the conversion yourself. Node War time NA is 9 p.m. Eastern. So convert from there. Yeah, make sure you check out everybody's streams. Frosty is twitch.tv/SoFrosty. Nyashi is Nyashi_NA. Mine is NotReslar, twitch.tv/NotReslar. Check out everybody's streams. Yeah, I think that's everything, guys. Make sure that you guys leave a comment, let us know what you think, and we will catch you guys later.